Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EAL first round of playoffs. We've got another best of three lined up tonight, and I am once again joined by my wonderful co-caster, your cookie only.
Hi there. Very, very excited to see everyone here. And also to see this match, Pacanometras against Element Z. Pacanometras on the blue side for the first game, and Element Z on the red side.
Well, if it's anything like last night's match, we know it's going to be an absolute banger, right? Just to reflect a little bit, last night it was Tribal up against Ross and Tilly and the boys, where RTB squeaked out a win in that third game. So very close. I mean, they're going to go on to face Cosmic Transcendence, still down their AD carry. But yeah, we got to wish them the best of luck in playoffs. But yeah, tonight it's Peconometris up against Elements trying to secure their own spot. Now, I believe both these teams are very capable, right? I think Element Z got something like third, I think, in the. Let me double check this.
Yes, they were
Embarrassing. But yes,
third,
they
I'm
were
pretty
third. They were
They was
third in Group B, behind only a single win actually, behind Cosmic Transcendence, who, as we know, are really on the Group B at the top of the table is fairly close actually now. Of course, maybe that's because of the bottom of the table having some unfortunate matches, but yeah, 13 and 5, and from what I saw of them, they're very strong, right? I think they picked up most of those wins in the second half as well of the split, which is it gives you a little bit of confidence in that way, much like we do excel at the moment, right? Like being on that upswing is so important for these teams, having that momentum behind you, having that growth as well. That's what we're all about here at EAL, becoming a little bit better players, competitors, and having that experience, of course. So, yep, Element Z, obviously very strong contenders. Econometris, actually, I think I watched them squeak in on 6. Now, of course, I had an extra place I could have got. But yeah, just about squeaking in on 6th seed. But I mean, that doesn't say too much when we saw how well Tribal, who was 7th seed, played against Ross and Tilly and the boys with the 3rd seed from Group A. And honestly, I really hope this is a super close, super banger match, just like, as I said, the one yesterday.
Yeah, I expect it to be close. Element Z obviously a very strong team, but
Mm-hmm.
Pacanometras is no slouch at all. In their games, I feel like it's good to talk about how both teams play. I think Element Z we can expect a bit more from what we saw yesterday, where a lot of bot lane focus because Denki is one of the consistent carries on their team. Um, but I think on Pack of the Metro side, it's we should watch how Edgy Ninja plays these games. He likes the AP mages, like the Orianna, the LeBlanc. We see him carry like a few games, like basically 1v9 in the game there, like especially the one game against Tribal in this season. Orianna, him on the Orianna was the only one with the kills and basically carried the whole team. So he is the one to watch.
Now, of course, I don't think you ever want to go into a series 1v9 giga chatting, as they say. But you know, if it's someone who can dependably almost look for that 1v9, then yeah, it's certainly beneficial to have on your team. In terms of draft, I guess we'll continue to see this sort of priority towards the ball. We did see a little bit of draft evolution in that previous series yesterday. I wonder if we'll see a similar sort of shift away from these mid lane priority champions, because it seems securing the strong bot lane, as you said, the elements are really strong with Denki in that bot lane. It seems like a crucial first step in these drafts to be able to, come up with the victory in the end.
Yeah, I remember yesterday. Basically, we were fighting over who gets Ash, who gets to
Yeah.
get those playmaking abilities. I assume after like the first game, I think both teams will find out. Oh, what has the other team prepared for them?
Hmm.
Especially when you talk about the upswing that the Element Z had over the season. It's actually a really good, a better indication of your ability because you are playing the season out as the meta kind of shifts as the
Hmm.
patches come along. So Elements Z might have a better read of the meta, but we will see what they tend to pick it on.
We certainly will. We certainly will. We should be heading into draft in just a couple of seconds. We're just waiting on some of the players to get back. I believe, yeah, Econometrics. Just waiting on a couple of players to re-arrive. Um, but yeah, whoever comes out on top of this match, they're obviously, as I said, fighting for much like yesterday, fighting for their way into that second round match, coming up against INV Invulnerables, I believe. So Invicta. I see there was another. There's a team in the NLC called Invulnerables, And when I see IMV, it's the same tricode, but no, they're coming up against Invicta, right? Um, second seed from Group A, much like how Cosmic Transcendence was second seed from Group B. As we are going to head into draft, we're going to see which of these two teams is going to be able to take this win. Obviously, as a best of three as well, much like last night. I love watching the best of three. I love watching the adaptions. So yeah, who's going to have the opportunity and the privilege to fight up against Invicta in the next round? Kai'Sa banned away immediately.
Yeah, one of the trifectas of AD carries that we talked about yesterday, and Kai'Sa one of them. So we will see maybe Ezra or Ashe being prioritized by both teams. Seeing Kai'Sa already banned away. Hovering a Zoe ban by Element Z, perhaps knowing that Edgy Ninja on Pack Ventress can be quite threatening on these mages, and
Yeah.
oh,
Bish
they,
bash bosh.
yeah,
I
a lot
like
of bans.
Sion ban. I love Jax ban. I hate seeing that champion on my Summoner's Rift. It gets him off. Celia, the third ban here for Econometrus. Something that we saw banned yesterday as well, I believe. It's a little bit surprising. I haven't seen it that much in the meta, but I guess it's had a bit of a resurgence. And Pantheon taken away from Econometrus. I think that would probably have been heading down into support or maybe even to jungle. So
Oh, it will be a jungle. It would have
really,
been a jungle anyway. Pagomentrus is the jungle player does one trick the jungle. I'm hesitant to say the name because I know the name from the EU any accounts. Am I
mm,
being wrong? No, I think it. There's some different accounts, so I'm not sure which one is which at the moment. But anyway, on first pick for Pagomentrus.
I think on first pick is a little bit interesting because it's it's sort of like I feel like there has to be a better OP.
I think it might be just the read on the meta. I don't think one first pick is necessarily bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, but as you say, it kind of like makes it a bit less flexible. You're not really playing for the top side anymore. But Element Z looks like it's countering with gonna pick the bot lane first, gonna pick support Nautilus and pairing up with maybe one of the AD carries that we talked about.
I mean even one of the ones we haven't talked about. Ezreal still up, Ashe Nautilus, a devastating lane. Instead, they're gonna pick away the Viego. And speaking of picking away, that's what it looks like Elements Comp is gonna want to do. Nautilus obviously such strong engage with that hook, with that depth charge as well. Viego, once you find a single pick in these fights, once you get a single reset, can blow the game wide open. So very explosive comp coming out from Element Z here. Maybe if you're on Econometrus, you want to take away the Ashe, because Ashe is an ADC that can provide even more of that pick, even more of that lockdown. It depends on what they look to do. Instead, they're going to go for the Xayah.
The
And for
Xayah
Calm.
Rakan combo. That looks like it will be the classic Xayah Rakan the lovers do in the bot lane. Um, not it seems like both teams already have their team comps kind of in mind. Pachymetras looking for those really 5v5 team fights rather
Oh,
than skirmishes, but Element Z picking the Gwen as the counter to the On in the top lane.
and this is one of the things you risk when you do blind pick on like this. If the enemy team is confident in playing these carries, is confident in playing these, the Gwen or the Vayne top even, but yeah, most likely the Gwen is the classic on counter I think of. And it is locked in. So Gwen and Viego on the same team. I'm not sure if that's law compliant, but yeah, Gwen notoriously good matchup into Ornn. Pretty good into Xayah and Xayah as well, because you can immune those feathers if you're just that little bit further away, right? If you dance around your Hallowed Mist perfectly enough. So yeah, once again though, another champion that wants to be going forwards, but it does add a little bit more side threat to the element decomp.
Yes, Element Z comp definitely have a very, very skirmish heavy comp, or at least they want the skirmishes. We can see the bans come out now. The Orianna ban towards Edgy Ninja and Aurelion Sol might be taken away here as well. Both sides trying to close out that mid lane champion pool.
Yeah, I guess I see the Aurelion Sol ban, but I'd much rather have seen something like a LeBlanc or an I'm not too sure how well that's in Gianco's wheelhouse as a player. But these sort of champions are a lot more in theme with what the rest of the comp needs to do. They need to be busty. They actually I feel like it'd be really good for Element Z here, and Enchanter in the mid lane. I think empowering Viego and empowering Gwen just provides so much value. And you've got plenty of damage coming through, and you've got your AD carry as well, gonna get picked up. Um,
Yeah,
as
Nico
Nico
getting
is taken
banned.
off the
Yeah,
board.
yeah, Nico one of those really meta AP laners in the mid lane. Yeah, definitely two bans towards Edgy Ninja. That makes most sense. As we talked about, Edgy Ninja is the key player, but we have to see. And the Lissandra gonna ban. I really like this ban.
Oh, yeah, I like the Lissandra ban. We talked about the pick comp coming on from LNC. That's a champ. They've got plenty of damage as well with double damage mid juggle, but they have left open the Tristana, which is yet another squishy member. Which is like it's not a selfish quote unquote member. It needs to be playing the fights for themselves. Like obviously can go down into the bot lane if that is Tristana AD carry. That's a lot more accessible, I think, especially paired up with the Nautilus. But if that's a Tristana mid, as we have seen so commonly from teams across the world, I'm not too sure about it.
Well, I am kind of hoping that it is a very good flex pick, allowing
Yeah.
Element Z to take the well, whatever a bit of flexibility basically in the composition. But I do expect the Tristana to be in the bot lane actually, because it doesn't make too much sense to just pick Tristana in the mid lane for now, given that you have the R5. So it might be looking
I
for
agree.
some kind of kill lane in the bot lane, and then using the Veigar to facilitate that.
Ooh, I kind of like this Sejuani denial as well. I mean, actually, it's not so important, but I think Sejuani does quite well into these sort of beefy brawlery comps, right? You've only got one other melee, so it's a little bit less impactful at this point. But it does provide a little bit of that anchor. I'd maybe prefer to see a Maokai in this position, but it does give a little bit more to that sort of team fight backwards comp that Econometrics is looking to play, especially with the Syndra pick.
Yes, Syndra pick. I guess kind of expect that one of those, because since you have eliminated so many
Mhm.
mid lane mages from the pool, I think Syndra is one of the better ones that's left behind now. Looking at Element Z, what will they pick? Maybe an Ari might be the call.
I can see an Ari being the cool. As I said, I can see something like an Azir being the if they play for it, right? Something that can just follow up a little bit on this engage. Instead, it's going to be
Wow.
the Akshan locked in. Oh, buddy, that's a bold pick from LMC.
That's a bold pick, but that's also a very good pick into, well, very good in lane, and also really um, really works well with Element Z comps, trying to get those skirmishes where Akshan and Tristana and basically the whole team really likes these skirmishes. They will be
They
trying to.
really like resets, all of them
Yes,
except the
yes,
Gwen as
all
well.
of them have reset except for Gwen. You're correct.
And
And
Nautilus, I guess, but like all the carries, right? Akshan getting a single kill in these fights is so damn important. Getting that Tristana rocket jump, getting that Akshan revive, getting that Viego possession, all like these on their own, even the rocket jump can like swing a fight sometimes. So all in combinations. Peconometrus has to play super, super careful not to get hooked up by this Nautilus here. I do want to say that I think Elements comp is fairly one-dimensional in what it could do. I do like the Akshan because it can also match. It does actually. I think Elements comp's really interesting because they've also got a lot of side lane pressure, right? With Akshan, Tristana, Gwen, and sure you can match that somewhat with the Syndra, but Ornn isn't going to like in a 1-3-1 mode. If that's what Elements look to play towards, I think it's going to be very difficult for Econometrus to match.
yes, definitely will be. Well, we will say kind of on the back foot, but that is to be expected. Pachynometrus definitely picked a comp that really is good for team fight with
More
Onsire.
standard composition, I think.
Well, I guess we can say standard, but I guess standard in a sense that it's a team fight composition
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you want to scale up to the late game and then win through those Baron or Soul Dragon fights. That still makes sense to me, but it's just that they might have they can't just take all the punching from Element Z in the early game. They have to find maybe a couple kills, a couple openings to just disrupt Element Z from advancing as they please, basically.
One thing I do want to point out, which I think I talk about this every single draft, but I think is especially relevant here, is ease of execution. For Econometrus' comp, for Khan, I don't want to say it, but very easy support to not die on. Sejuani, a very easy champion to play out. Not maybe not to like her highest potential, but you can always like land a glacial prison on someone, stun them up, and burst them down. Ornn, the Ornhorn makes team fighting so much easier when that's coming down, especially with no way to really void that outside the Hallowed Mist. Element Z, a lot more difficult style, I think. The only reliable engage you've got is the Nautilus Depth Charge. The rest of your champions are high execution, both micro and macro. You need to be playing around this map. You need to be, you know, playing on the limit as Viego, as Gwen, as Tristana and Akshan in order to be able to get anything done in these fights. I do think Econometrics have the ease of execution favoring their comp here. But I think maybe Element Z has a higher, perhaps, skill or like total execution level that can be achieved, which sort of makes sense, right? We talked about how Econometrics is that lower seed heading into this playoffs match, best of 3. They want to just play something comfortable, get that first win on the board, and maybe look for the upset with this easier to execute composition.
You say easier to execute, but I would argue that it requires a lot of patience from Pachymetra's side. It's quite hard in the sense that you have to pick your battlefields really wisely because you only have probably a few opportunities to fight back in the early game, but you still have to. So finding those opportunities to stay even or to push back is like really important for Pachymetras this game.
Certainly is. It certainly is. And we're going to have to see if they can find those opportunities. We're going to head into a very short spectator delay break. Don't go anywhere. First match of the night. Econometrics on blue, Element Z on red, fighting for their playoffs spots against Invicta. And we'll catch you in just a couple of minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back onto the Rift. We are here for the first game of this playoff series, and yeah, we're watching Pacanometris on blue coming up against Element Z on red, and it looks like Element Z are looking for some action at level 1.
Yeah, well, not really standard now. They're actually trying to go for the Tribush and see if anyone's there, but it's warded out by Element Z. Sorry, by Pekanometris. So they'll see it coming.
Yeah, Pacanometris is going to very wisely clear out of that one. Viego with the stun at level 1, the Nautilus hook, of course, passive as well. Dangerous, dangerous. So yeah, just going to be able to give up at least for now, and with Tesla walking up towards that top side, I don't think they're going to go for the contest.
Yeah, it seems like both teams just want to put down some wards because you can see Aseptic here just going back to start on their own jungle after putting down some wards.
Never mind, it's over for Element Z. The first strike value has been gained by Edgy Ninja. Also, stopping that back, I think Itinerary might be a little bit laid back to lane. Thank you, observers. As Viego, by the way, I know this isn't exactly strict analysis, but damn, I haven't seen that Viego skin in game yet, especially not with like Chroma, and holy hell is it pretty. Soul Fighter event, kind of banging, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it does look good. Vega, one of the more popular champions in League of Legends, definitely gets the nicest skins.
But yeah, no skin synergy with the Gwen, unfortunately. So yeah, that's another point against Element Z and my hooks. But the point in favor of them is that they land that hook at level 1. Nice trade down onto Avantgardus.
Yeah,
Avantgardus. There we go.
Avant-Garde, correct. And you can see how Element Z is trying to do. It's trying to get them low since level 1.
I mean, level 2 for Tristana is super, super deadly. Less so without that Halo Blades, but the hook also is enough. Well, plus the passive bomb is enough to chunk Space Jam out to less than half their health and blow both potions already. That lane, yeah, especially once level 2 comes around, their lethality goes up even higher. Avantgardus and the Space Jam have to be so careful.
Yes, they should have to be. You can see Aseptic already going to the bot lane for an early gank.
Ooh, terrifying, terrifying. Look for that lane gank. Meanwhile, Tesla on the other side of the map, not going to be able to find very much. I'm not even, they're certainly not aware. Nice hook from George. The flash stun comes out. The rocket charge, explosive charge, even will not kill off Space Jam, but it will force out the heal for Avantgardus. Although you do get the flash and exhaust, so positive actually some of the trade here for Pacanometris, but I still think this bot lane is now in dire straits.
Yes, there's so much resources here. Looks like Rakan has run out of potion already, so will not be able to heal up that quickly. So
Yeah.
it might present a problem, but actually probably will not present a problem as Denki is going for an early base, and looks like Avantgarde and Space Jam is just able to clear the next wave out.
Yeah, well, they were kept pinned under the tower. I think this is going to be a free reset here for Denki. At least get them a little bit of CS if the wave does crash. But yeah, George hovering around this mid lane. Aseptic is here too. The hook, flash, forwards, hook is flashed away from. Edgy Ninja will survive. But, oh no. Nice smite steal away there on the top side of the screen from Aseptic. But yeah, no, that's a Syndra without flash. Syndra already pretty vulnerable in this lane. Without flash is going to be prime pickings for either Aseptic or George.
Yeah, the gank by Aseptic in the bot lane allowed Georgie to go mid to force out that flash from Edgy Ninja. So Edgy Ninja has to play a lot more careful, as you say. Syndra already quite vulnerable in this lane, and not very, very, very vulnerable to ganks, especially. So needs to be extra careful from now on.
And I really like to see Elements using that push in the bot side to roam the support around the map, right? I mean, it seems like a fairly obvious thing. It's something they should be doing on Nautilus, but sometimes you see teams just like push a wave into turret and take a reset or don't do anything with their tempo. And Element Z showing why they're a cut above some of the rest in Group B by using that tempo effectively to blow out summoners across the map, even if they did have to trade their own support's flash for it.
Yeah, Element Z having a good time so far, being really proactive on the map, but they still have to translate this into actual gold leads. Currently, the gold lead is, well, they don't have a gold lead yet, so they have to translate these summoner spells cooldown timers into actual material advantage.
Yeah, it's a little bit like chess, right? There's the idea of positional advantage. It's only real once you convert it into actual material. And yeah, the thing is, with Georges roaming towards that mid lane, it did allow Avantgardus to push that wave in bot lane, get that reset off. So they did use some of their resources. Like they used the resource of the advantage they had in bot lane to, rather than get turret placed, just roam around the map, and they got something for it as long as they can convert that as something, as we've been talking about before. It does look like though that Aseptic is looking for a gank on this bot lane. Punish. Actually, there's not much to punish. Heal's about to come up for Avantgardus as well, so looking to try and blow some more summoners instead.
Yeah, very insistent, not insistent, but determined into getting something in the bot lane, but will not find it. So Ascetic probably will just go to perhaps start off the dragon at 6 minutes.
But they do have Prio in the bot lane, do have Prio in the mid lane, and Jungler's just shown on the top side. And there, we talked about the Hallowed Mist does allow Incinerate to make their way out, but is stunned up. It hurts. Oh wait, no, that's Aurelia. Still will end up going down. The Ghost trying to run their way out, but the Winter's Bite will find its mark. Tesla puts their name on the map.
Wow, what a good gang there, making sure the Funky Kid is allowed to scale in this matchup. That's a good feeling being an On after being beaten down for like the whole laning phase, is able to get a kill, but now Element Z is able to take the first dragon, the first Hextech dragon in return.
Yeah, but they've somehow gone a goal, 1k goal behind in total just from taking this Hextech Drake, right? Look, we see here Aseptic walking down, trying to find the invade on this red buff, but he's got all of his camps up. He's got his own blue buff up. This is maybe, I feel like maybe there's just more value clearing out your own camps here. Still, we'll be able to deny it away. Bot lane collapse, though, I think would be in favor of the Space Stram and Avantgardus, especially now that Tesla has spotted this out. Smites it away. This time it's a Sejuani dashing forwards, slow coming through. It's gonna burn. It's gonna be that's a flash miles too late. Aseptic gonna be taken down by the Space Jam. Overconfidence, hard punished by Elements.
Yeah, that is very good timing.
That's a disaster, is what it is.
It is disaster. It is a disaster, and also very well caught out by Capaca the Mattress on that really bold invade there. That's a big disaster for Viego though, as you say. That completely ruins his tempo, and as you say, all the camps are up, so he will have to start clearing them now.
Oh, I hate seeing 8 camps up across the map, right? For both junglers, having 9 camps up, even the buffers only spawn. Either jungler not really going for that farming route, but I think Sejuani's a little bit more happy about that. Just gonna have inherent value as the game goes on, and especially because Sejuani has found 2 kills and Aseptic has found none. We see there also Ganko trying to gank up in the top lane, but yeah, Funky Kid's gonna be a fairly immovable rock on the top side. This on first pick now somewhat playing dividends, and we talked about this explosive comp from Element Z. They're going to need to explode on the map soon because they're a 1k gold behind, 1.5k gold behind. They want to be fighting for this third dragon, but unless they can find this lead, it might not even be a fight they can take.
Yes, it really depends on how the game. Well, it's still quite early in the game, to be fair. They need to do something, but it's not as urgent as you think. They still need an opportunity to explode the game out, but they still have some time. They still have around, I would say around 15 minutes where they can think of where they can find openings. So a long time still for Capaca and Moltres to be defending.
Of course, but it's certainly a good start, isn't it? When you come in as the unfavored seed and you play this team fight comp and you're able to win out in the early lanes, especially when you're able to just stifle Viego's momentum just like that. And now, Ganko trading out with Edgy Ninja, and those trades look fairly even.
Yeah, not too bad. I would say Ganko probably won out on that public trade just now.
Yeah, especially because it's gonna reset, right?
Yeah,
but...
yeah.
No, I'm still coping. I'm coping, all right, for the whole scene. I really look. I want them to win the first game, and then it's to go to the third game, right? Because that would get my heart really pumping. Even though it probably wouldn't be good for it after last night. As we see here, Aseptic once again with their bot lane obsession, trying to find something onto Avantgardus, and the Space Jam just hasn't been here at the right sort of time. Never mind. Engage comes through, but Rakan, such a slippery hero. Exhaust goes down, but nothing is blown from the side of Econometrus. And on the top side of the map, they're just able to pick up this Herald.
Yes, I'm wondering. It has to be Econometrus bot lane playing so well, knowing that they can go for engages or when they can't. So even when Space Jam went for the engage, he knew the possibility that Aseptic might be there sitting in the bush because he has already there. He's already been there like a few
Yeah.
times already.
I do want to say, I think the thing with Trist is it's very hard to freeze a wave in front of your turret. Your AoE damage on your autos when you kill a minion just like shreds the wave in half. Which means that when you do play an aggressive Trist bot lane like this, you're looking for jungler ganks on dives, right? You can't really catch them out on a flank, but you can catch them out maybe in their own jungle. The Space Jam walks forward, flashes away, dives out. Rakan is such a slippery beast, does manage to survive. But anyway, back to my point. You need to be looking for dives, basically. But how, in God's name, past level 6, are you going to dive a Xayah Rakan? Maybe there was an opportunity on that huge wave that they crashed at level 3, right? If Aseptic had stayed around, looked to crash that, dive that, we could be having an entirely different game right now. But Xayah, with that Featherstorm, Rakan just as I said, it's all there. So many escapes inherent in his kit. The dive isn't really possible. The freeze into gank isn't really possible. Finding advantage with this Tristana Nautilus spot lane becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it does become more difficult. The silver lining is they had got a plating after, well, weeks of pounding on in the bot lane. They got one plating for all their troubles, and Tristana is a very good turret destroyer. So if you find one opening, that you can translate into a lot more tower damage than other champions would. And Tesla in the mid lane now.
Yeah, Tesla looking to get a couple of plates of their own. Has that Reptile, and wisely backing off when they see a Septic here. George in the area as well. No Winter's Assault. The stun fired backwards. The 3 versus 2 there. Not confident to take it.
Yeah, no flash available for George. Otherwise, he would have gone for the flash hook.
I like this Herald placement, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you, but the Dragon has spawned. If they can get this pushed in, get this crashed, it sort of balks them, especially when you can pick up the mid laner. Massive Glacial Prison coming out. The flash just saves Gyanko's life, but now it's 3v2 in the mid lane. The Herald Charge will come through, and it will be prime position here for Peconometrus on this Drake.
Yeah, Edgy Ninja really hold it on to that ultimate. Really did not want to use it before the Dragon fight, but that means they missed out on the kill on Gyanko. But still, they will still get the second dragon, the Mountain Dragon.
And that's an extra 5 minutes that's not going to be a soul for Element Z with this sort of snowballing comp. You said that they had until around 26, 27 minutes to 25 minutes to find their advantage. They've now not going to be able to get to a soul point by that 25-minute mark. So fights are going to get a whole lot harder to force.
Yes, a lot harder, especially when you think of Peconometrus. This team comp is built around team fights. How are you gonna win against a team fight comp when they're all scaled up and like have their suitable items? Georgia here trying to make some vision, try to make something happen around the river, just doing the support jobs. Both supports actually just hitting the wards. I don't know why we're looking at this, but we are.
Look, it's the most exciting thing happening on the map at the moment, if I'm honest. Nobody else is trading. But yeah, trading vision I think is going to be really important in this game in general, right? So much of the pick coming out from Element Z, you know, is made significantly easier off of vision. Viego flanks off vision, Gwen flanks off vision, hell, even Nautilus hooks out of a bush will get a lot easier when your opponent can't see you. But when you're standing on a ward, or you've walked past the ward, because Edgy Ninja smells out this gank, yeah, it becomes a whole hell of a lot harder to find those fights.
Yeah, good job at Edgy Ninja knowing the gank coming. I think it was on a ward. I don't think it was on a ward. I think Edgy Ninja just knew by looking at how Gyanko was playing the lane.
Yeah, and honestly, massive props for Peconometrus. They've played their comp exactly like they needed to. They haven't allowed a single in for Element Z, right, this entire game. They've recruited themselves a 2,000 gold lead at 14 minutes of the comp that maybe had a rougher time in the early game, and they are, as the kids would say, perhaps Bing chilling in this one. But might not be for much longer. Look towards the bot lane.
Yeah, Gyanko again in the bot lane. Not again, but a Scepter in the bot lane as well. Looks like everyone really wants to use bot lane as an opener, but we can see Tesla is also nearby, just at the crux. We'll be recalling that though.
Spots on the ward as well. Yeah, there's no hope of any sort of play coming through now. I don't think that Peconometrus win the 3 versus 2, right? If Gyanko does come in here. I think they're in a position where they don't lose it, though. They can get out alive, maybe lose a couple of plates to Trist, but there's going to be no Herald drop coming through. Plates have, actually, no, plates have already even fallen, and most they lose a single outer turret. And it just feels like... I feel like maybe you had to attack the mid lane a little bit more if you're Element Zero. I mean, we saw how well Edgy Ninja was playing that lane, though, right? They got the flash early with George, but since then, Edgy Ninja done a remarkable job of keeping up in CS, going really ahead in CS, actually, and not getting caught out on these ganks, as we are going to head into a pause as the top has disconnected.
Yeah, I mean, I would be bored as well if I was playing Gwen in the top lane. Um, we were talked about a lot of actions happening in the mid lane and bot lane. We see Septic and Georgia and Gianco trying to make these plays in the mid lane and bot lane happen, while top lane is just happily in an island. Funky Kid just bang chilling with the items, actually not even building that much magic resist against the Gwen.
He's gone seal caps into Gwen. That's the ultimate disrespect. Oh, yeah. It's really good into the rest of the team, right? It's probably the right choice, but not feeling pressured to take any magic resist options. Only 2 vision score as well. My man is in his lane and vibing.
Yeah, it's funny how you see that both top laners have 2 trinkets in or trinkets in their inventory. It's just funny.
They've got less vision score combined than anyone else on either team.
Yeah, that's just sometimes it's a top lane experience, especially given Element Siege. There's not much point trying to explode in the top lane. It feels for Element Z. They could try to gank the On, but On has already gotten the first item. It's quite tanky. When with the flash, it's just really difficult.
I do want to point out this Gwen as something that Element Z can look towards, right? We talked about how they might want to look for the Soul Win condition doesn't look as viable anymore. And Gwen is maybe one of those ultimate win conditions along with Tristana in playing this 1-3-1 comp. Now, from how I've seen Element Z roam around the map, make their map plays, I'm not yet convinced that they'd be able to pull it off, especially with things like Aseptic just getting caught out on the timer when you should really know that you can't be in the jungle. You know, like you can count how long it takes to recall with that Herald, plus walk back out from the base for Tesla, right? But it is still a potential back into the game for Element Z.
Yeah, it could be. If you try to get a Gwen ahead, it might be a bit late now, but you can still try.
Even beyond the head, once she does hit 2 items, 3 items, she'll still be, how do I put it? She'll still be relevant on these side lanes, right? It doesn't, like, even if she gets there at the 30-minute mark rather than 25-minute mark, it's equally impossible for Edgy Ninja to match them, barring, of course, a massive gold injection in that mid lane, right? Wow, I just said look at the jungle gold lead. 1.5k of a Sejuani over a Viego. That's not what you expect to see.
Yeah, so Johnny is just feeling swimming in gold. Has the most gold in the team actually. It's a rare sight. Usually Sejuani is usually starving, but this Sejuani is swimming in gold, able to buy all those items. Those crucial first and second items that Sejuani wants, and able to function as the engaged tank that he wants to be. But otherwise, game is the Conmetris is doing very good job defending so far. Just scaling up. Syndra is currently, I think Syndra. If we can look at the items again, producer. Yep, just got his mythic, and Syndra usually comes very much online when you finished your second item, your Shadow Flame, because that is usually the time when you just one shot a squishy that you can see. So farming after that will become a very big threat for Element Z.
Yeah, it certainly will be. It certainly will be. Um, any. All right, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking. In the. All right, I'm trying to figure out if there's some conversations happening in the EAL chat. I'm trying to figure out if it's the players in game. I don't think it is. But I think we might be heading to a quick pause either way while we wait for this pause to tick down because I don't want to repeat the same thing unless, of course, we want to hop to some RuneScape gameplay on my end. I think we're going to be heading to a quick pause while we wait to get these tech issues sorted out. Don't go anywhere. It's really interesting match to watch. Paconometris with the lead heading into this 15-minute mark. Element Z with the explosive comp still might be able to find something on the side as the game goes on. We'll catch you in just a little bit. Hello everyone and welcome back onto the Rift. We're here after the pause. I really hope the player is reconnected. Looks like they have. Looks like we haven't had any DCs. And I still have the stream open. I'm hearing my voice back and it's very distracting. Never mind. We're back. We're here. First game. Econometrus on blue. Elements on red. And Econometrus, just to remind you, in a pretty good spot.
Yes. Oh, maybe a bit of scuffle in the mid lane didn't amount to much. But yeah, as long as Peconometrus keep up just playing even lanes, and they will be able to show up in the team fights with their team fight oriented composition.
Ooh, nice hook there from Jorge. Depth charge comes out. No Featherstorm in time for Avantgardus. Ends up getting taken out. Once again, an ult held for a little too long by Econometrus. A pick that shouldn't have happened, but does end up going through.
Wow, for so long. After 60 minutes, looks like Element Z have found their opening, taking down the bot tier 1 tower.
Yeah, very nice stun, very nice stun. They have finally found that explosiveness onto the map, somewhat equalizing that gold. Getting the kill to Tristana feels pretty good as well. He's opted for the Storm Razor first item. I haven't seen that since the start of preseason.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice, I guess. But it still provides a lot of lane pressure, and also the movement speed from the Storm Razor passive feels very good.
Yeah, the movement speed feels really good. Especially on something like Tristana, I think. Getting that, like, just adds a little bit of extra damage to your bomb combo, right? Yeah, it allows you to get in range to get those bomb autos off. It's really, really important. So I'm not surprised to see that picked up. Meanwhile, though, Space Jam hovering mid lane, but a sweep out from Ganko ensures that they make it out alive.
A dragon will be spawning in 10 seconds, and looks like Element Z already there, putting down the vision and trying to... Oh, never mind.
Engage on the mid lane, once again caught out, and this time Ganko will fall once again without the ult from Edge Ninja, but that means they now have it for this fight. 3 versus 3, but only one resource has been blown. Aseptic getting the damage down, the flash hook goes completely wide, the teleport's coming out, not going to be able to stop that rocket jump. Stun connects though, scatter the weak, Jorge knocked up, taken down, Funky Kid secures the kill.
Ooh, a great skirmish there by Peconometrus, and now that means instead of Element Z getting the dragon, it's the Peconometrus, and that means it just helps them with their win condition on the dragon stacking, because all these fights around dragon is like, well, we have all team fight around dragons a lot. Like these teams will, especially Peconometrus, will know how to fight around these objectives.
Yeah, they claim that well, they don't even need to fight around the objective itself. They find the pick in the mid lane, and then, yeah, really nice counter pick there on Jorge. Huge teleport from Funky Kid, able to even catch the wave. Inerary. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Inerary, I think, is how I'm going to pronounce it. Inerary, not able to, yeah, teleport down themselves, I think, had the wave pushing onto the turret. Yeah, it's just all significantly more impactful than Gwen after getting that dragon as well, right? It's almost like Econometrus are the one stacking up that soul win condition. If they can get this Ocean Soul as well, gives a little bit of resilience against the burst. Not as good as something like a Mountain, I think, in this situation, or a Hex Tech, but still would be nice to have.
Yeah, it's still a very significant. Well, it's still very significant in terms of how much health regen you get. It's just a lot of good statistics. Ganko going offensive here.
Oh, looking for the engage there, Rakan. Massive glacial prison. Sorry, Glacial once again. Edgy Ninja, though, has the stopwatch. Oh, my lord. Flash away. Scatter the weak. Still ends up surviving. It's disaster here for Element Z as Econometrus sweep in with 2 kills.
Yeah, we did say Edge Ninja is the player to watch, making a very big play here in the mid lane, catching out Ganko at first and also surviving with the key commencing stopwatch at the very end.
Man, what a clean play. Going for that Sonya's second. Like, don't blame them for it, honestly, when you see how well they can execute it. And just how ahead they are of their opposing number. You can afford to go for these utility items. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Gwen versus Ornn, that's kind of how the matchup's supposed to go. As I guess there won't be a kill up there. The Observer knows it before us. I think... Yeah, it looks like Inari not able to find that kill there. Funky Kid. Make it out under the turret. But yeah, that's a lot more what you expect from Gwen, getting this item and a half, going for that Blade, not Blade of Ruined Kingdom, Nash's Tooth even on that second item as well. Will be able to get a better and better time against Ornn in this side lane.
Yes, and looks like we will be Avangard just going and pick up that top wave right now. Moving the ADC up to the top lane usually means you kind of want to try to make some vision around the Baron and try to contest that, perhaps. But now mid lane, quite a lot of people, but not a lot of action happening.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, Edgy Ninja is now the one matching into Inari, which I think is the wiser choice in the end. It's been able to scatter the weak. It's still dangerous, mind you, for the Syndra, but a little bit more able to clear the wave than Ornn is. So I like this lane assignment coming in from Chronometris, especially with that teleport into the side laner, right? Like Edge Ninja has that TP available, so can't be pinned in maybe the same way that you'd want to if you're looking to play through that side lane.
Yes, does make a lot of sense here. Space Jam and Tesla clearing out of vision, and also actually both teams have done very well in terms of their vision game. But a lot of focus is on killing the vision of the enemy team and also putting down our own. But at this moment, at this very moment, Pachymetris has a better hold of the top side of the map. Element Z only has that one ward in the Baron pit to see if there's any sneaky going on.
And I think they need to be fighting for them more. They need to be clearing out more of this vision, right? Because as I said, they need to be finding these picks. Unless you're just playing towards this Gwen as your sole win condition, right? Wave will be crashing on that bot side of the map. So it could be a lot worse. Because we see the way these jungle camps as well, but still not really involved in any of these team fights in Inari, right? 0-1 and 0 from that top gank at the start of the game. Is level 14 higher than their opposing number? Not the highest in the game. Edgy Ninja has that on a tied with them. But yeah, maybe needs to be getting into these fights if they really want to contest for this next trade, which I feel like they should.
Well, they had to find a fight somewhere for sure, Element Z. Their comp is good in fights, in skirmishes though, but in the late game when everyone is gripped up, it becomes very hard. Ooh, Gianco looking for an opportunity.
Look for the play. Featherstorm is available. Please pop it. Am I just gonna doesn't need to, knows better than I do, I guess. Just gonna hide behind their turret. Does have to blow their heal though to make it happen. Dragon spawning up in 25 seconds. Avangardus even will be able to reset, will be able to walk back for this Drake, but positional advantage heavily in favor of Element Z.
Yeah, at this moment, you can see Avangardus just slowly walking them from the base, not able to be stepped into the river yet. Would that mean that Element Z will be able to get this Dragon just like that? It seems like Funky Kid is not looking to teleport.
Dragon has been started up. Tesla, Space Jam, Edge Ninja. Oh my god, Winston assault forced by Tesla. Forcing them back. Glacial Prison. George walking out. And that's a really big ultimate. And a Radiant Virtue that's not going to be available for this fight. Oh my lord. Syndra damage with those two items, even with one of them being defensive, is kind of nuts. Turret has been destroyed in the mid lane. Funky Kid walking down to try and help out. George chunked out so low. And just Dragon... Yeah, it's not, looks like it's not really going to be contested even, right? With Ornn in the area, I guess Element Z are happy with that mid-tier 1 turret, but yeah, it looks like Pachymetris is just going to head up towards this Baron instead.
Yeah, Element Z is definitely not happy at all, but they were zoned by Syndra, being in that choke point in the ramp, in the, well, opposite the Dragon Pit, and now this Baron getting started.
Yeah, Baron has been started up. They realize that they're in a stronger position to fight. They are down an ultimate. Forcing out the teleport here. This is a bold move, I think, for Pachymetris. Yeah, backing off after getting that TP. I think they can be happy about that one. Stopping out the Gwen push on the sides. But it looks like they're still trying for more. They are favored in these 5v5 teamfights. Engage has been found onto Gianco. Flash out immediately. Here comes the forward god. Only connects onto one. Inri turned down to half health, but Tesla getting shredded by this Gwen. Dash forwards, dive in by this Triss. The explosive teamfight is there, but Space Jam gets away and an inch of health. The resets didn't come through. Double kill, triple kill for Edgy Ninja as Element Z are sent back to the Nexus.
Wow, Element Z took a gamble to try to fight around the river choke point, but unfortunate for Element Z, Glacial Prison just came back up for Tesla. All those ability haste was at work to bring the ultimate back up for that crucial fight. Very crucial at the end there.
Man, What a play. I mean, it looks so close to being great for Element Z, right? Space Jam getting away on the slipper of health. Tesla almost falling in the initial burst, but they just didn't have enough damage. That's the gold advantage crystallized, right? That's exactly what not getting these early leads will cost you, because I feel like with just a little bit more damage, they get a reset on Triss, they get the revive on Ganko, they get the reset on Viego, and that could be a totally different scenario, but they just weren't able to get that burst down quick enough and end up throwing away maybe their last chance at this game.
Yeah, look at a gold lead around 7k. It starts to get really difficult, especially with the Baron taken by Pack on the Mattress. They might be able to push down some even more towers or even break open the base if they can.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. It's 7,000 gold in the good. It's not like they're facing down an Elder Soul in, sorry, an Ocean Soul in 2.5 minutes. Oh, they are Elements. Yeah, it's still, it's like even if they can survive the first wave of the Baron push coming in, as we see Edgy Ninja claiming up the spot side turret, they're still gonna have to contend with an Ocean Soul fight, or just concede an Ocean Soul with no hope of getting much at all on the opposite side of the map.
Absolutely. There isn't. It's very hard to play behind with a
With a comp
skirmish
like
comp.
this. Yeah.
Yes. The best hope is to. Oh, never mind.
Tesla, don't miss. I think it's 100% on those Glacial Tombs. Snipes out Gyanko, getting ganked this entire game, if I do say so myself. It's... Man, Tesla putting in such a stellar performance, 4-0 and 7, teaming up with Edgy Ninja, and the lower seed, right? They're a significantly lower seed here, right? Econometrics. It might just be like yesterday, right? Well, one game it could go to 3 games, but they've really put in a strong performance. I don't know what I was expecting to see, but it wasn't a win this dominant.
Yeah, Pack of the Mattress having such a good. Well, basically the com is paying dividends. They well, they didn't struggle too much, but they defended so well in the early game, and now they're reaping the rewards of having a superior teamfight composition.
Yeah, just smart macro brain, smartly, you know, it's something that I struggle with a lot, not dying to ganks, not dying in serious situations, as Avantgardra's, I might be to my words, gonna get stunned up, gonna get taken down after pushing in that mid lane. What do I get? You know what, it's fine, they're still gonna get the inhibitor off it, right? You pick off the AD carry, but there's no objective to fight for. They got plenty of time, plenty of disengage with this Syndra. Plenty of damage even. Oh my god, they're all clumped up. Not quite getting that stun onto all of them, but that's one burst down already. Force of Will is used. Charmed up. Zhonya's is there. Denki can't find the kill. Another one dies in the 3v4. Econometrics fine 2 for 2. Never mind. It's going to be 2 for 1.
Yeah, you just go to
dash over the wall. Orb just pushing on the top side.
Yeah, even with the Baron buff, it's so easy to pressure these silent towers, even though if your composition wasn't really meant for it. Although a few members dropped, but at the looking at a bigger picture, like having that one inhibitor down is so much more impactful. So that's a very good result for. Yeah, I don't know what's the silver lining for Element Z.
Gwen is, man, the jungle's down 40 farm. Your mid lane is down like 50. They got a bit of a gold lead in the bot lane, but Denki hasn't really been able to find anything on these sides. You're going to be down on Ocean Soul. Like, look at where they are. They can't get anywhere close to the pit, man. It's really hard to see any sort of right side. Maybe you do still have a lot of damage, right? We saw how they almost won that team fight when they hit multiple members. If they just find one pick before the fight starts, can surge forwards with that momentum, maybe onto something like Funky Kid, deny any sort of counter engage coming out from Econometrics, or even a pick onto Edgy Ninja. Maybe there's still hope for them to win the fight, but I think they need to win a couple in a row to be able to get their way back into this game. This Funky Kid just building an item right in front of them.
Yes, all of these items are getting upgraded as well. That will be, I believe, the last one will be the Shurelius Requiem.
Yeah, God, Shurelius Reverie, I think, is the upgrade. Is it?
The Requiem.
Oh, is it Requiem? Reverie, is Reverie the baseball?
I think that would be the old name, right? Or
did my God.
The old name?
Look, man, I call it Zeke's Herald still. Okay, I don't ask you to look. I can remember the name of new items, right? If you're gonna change the name of an old item, I'm not gonna be able to remember that. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, if they can get upgraded, yep, has finally gone through. All 5 upgraded. That's an extra couple of thousand gold in the bank for for
Yeah, I
Econometrics.
think
So the
on
gold
average,
league,
on
it,
average,
it
each upgrade is around 1.5k on average.
1 point. I thought it was
I think
1k.
is it
Inflation's hitting
1k?
hard. I
It
think,
must be 1k then. I must be remembering it wrong.
but you know that they've already got a 10k lead. I don't think they need an extra 5k. They got a soul on top of it as well. That's an extra 5k as well. They've got the compositional advantage. Don't know how much that is worth, but it's clearly too much. Element Z, what would you like to see from them heading into game 2? As a
Well,
as a dead Gango.
I want to see not Akshan.
Maybe they need to ban a 5th mid laner from Edgy Ninja. Maybe that'll be the solution. You know, maybe banning out 4 champions was just not enough. As the engage comes through, Horn is blown. It's a done conclusion. Charmed up, knocked up, taken down. Element Z will crumble. Econometrics will take the turret, take the inhibitor, and surely take the Nexus.
Yeah, then he is like, where's my team? I just have to just laugh it from the turrets and knowing that he can't do anything against the Pachymetrus rolling down, taking both Nexus turrets, and now we'll be taking Nexus. Oh, nearly taking down Denki at the very end as well.
Almost, you almost got another kill. Oh, it doesn't matter. In the end, that was a dominating game from Econometrics there. I said not what I expected, right? It's got to be a bit of a mental boomer, right? When you play such an, I don't want to say ego, but such an execution reliant comp on the side of Element Z, right? And you can't make anything happen at all, right? Your ganks didn't seem to come through. You just weren't able to find the place. Again, your summoners, even though you blow summoners in the bot lane, in the mid lane, you're not able to capitalize on those summoners being blown. What do you think they need to do heading into game 2 in order to adapt?
Well, so obviously they had a very good skirmish comp, but when we find out that Pachymetrus know to just say no to these skirmishes, right? They don't give consent to any of these skirmishes. You might want to find more picks that has a lot more brute force potential. Maybe some I don't know, some engage from the top laner and mid laner as well. Actually,
maybe even like a Maokai or a Sejuani in the jungle, right? Or even a Jarvan if you want to continue playing this aggressive style, right?
I think the vehicle is fine. Has very good gap close and CC. Just because if you think about Gwen, he was staying in the top lane for like the whole game, didn't do anything. But if it was something like maybe a bruiser like Camille or something, then even you still have the advantage in terms of like laning, and you're still scaling in the side lanes, but also you have a more engage potential to bring that bring your comp into fruition, because it turns out like there was only two ways that you were trying to open the game up. It's either a lane gank from Viego or in the bot lane, or you get Georgie in the mid lane. That's kind of it. And well, Pachymetrus was able to see that through and was able to defend in early game. And yeah, with that comp differential, then in the mid to late game, it's just GG.
Well, fortunately, as mentioned before, we are in a best of 3 series. One game does not a series make, and while Econometrus are going to have a hell of a lot of momentum heading into this game 2, it is by no means over. I think we saw a similarly dominant game 1 in the previous best of... We won't talk about how that one ended, but similarly dominant best of 1 in the previous best of 3, and that was a hell of a close series. So we're going to head to a quick break while we get ready to go into draft. Don't go anywhere. Econometrix looking for the right to fight up against Invicta. Element Z, 3rd seed, fighting for their playoffs lives. Need the 2 wins in a row to come back. We'll see if they can do it after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. Baconometrus with a decisive victory in game one, looking to draft their way to success in game two. Maybe run it back with that teamfight comp as Element Z has chosen red side once again.
Yeah, I think Element C didn't think that it was the side was a problem. They still won the R5 last pick, and perhaps they would change it up in terms of composition this time around.
I mean, yeah, I don't think a pick composition is wrong in theory necessarily, but I feel like they had a lot of follow up and not that much starting off of a fight, right? You had the Viego stun, you had Nautilus hook, and that was basically it. So having something more like as an Ashe in the ADC position, something maybe with a little bit more engaged in the top lane, a little bit more agency, hell, even like a Renekton, right? If you want to go aggressive still, I think could do a whole hell of a lot of work for Element Z. Also banning out maybe that Ornn, denying the safety in the top lane, maybe banning away, I don't know, Sejuani, just because Econometrus made that pick work. Tesla, an electrifying performance on that champion. So we'll have to see what they choose to look for. Same bans run back as of now. Will this Zoe ban go through? I mean, they banned 5. It's quite funny. They banned Tesla's main champion in this Pantheon, and he still performed shockingly well on this Sejuani. So I'm interested to see what they look towards now. If they'll keep the 5th ban the same, or 6th ban even the same, or if they'll look towards banning out that Sejuani, and it's hovered, and it's locked in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sejuani was very key to pulling the whole team together and also in engaging those crucial fights, allowing Pack and the Metros to come back in the game. Not to come back, but to well, show the team fight
To stay,
prowess.
to build those small leads and continue building those small leads, right? And the Ornn first pick is coming out again. We saw Gwen almost get a solo kill on the Ornn, go down on CS on the Ornn, right? That's not what I'm really looking for as a counter pick. You had to have suspected this Ornn pick would be coming in first again. What have Element Z been cooking up in the time when we've been away? Maybe something like a tank in the top lane. Poppy is a completely different look to what they were going for before, and something I think could be good for them.
Yeah, if you think about yesterday's game where you have Tribal versus oh my god, what's the name of the other team?
Try
But
Russ
what
and Tilly and the boys.
Russ and Tilly and the boys, Tribal on their second game went for the
Oh,
Poppy and Ashe. But now we had Poppy and Aphelios. Aphelios still utility based because you still have your Gravitum to provide some kind of lockdown.
yeah.
So a lot more I say utility, but more
Well, it's
CC
utility
heavy.
40% of the time. It's a lot more zone control, right? It's a little bit less balls to the wall aggressive as Tristana is, right? It's something that can play lane, a little bit more control, wants to scale up a little bit more. Still pretty good with the Nautilus. As this Poppy pick is interesting because it somewhat denies the Rakan here, right? It's Xayah Rakan, obviously still a strong combo, but Rakan, we saw just how slippery that champion was in the previous game, just how excellently the space jam got themselves out of those jams. A lot harder when you're knocked down by that steadfast presence from Poppy.
Yeah, I totally agree. Poppy in the jungle makes a lot of sense here, but Pack and Metro is still confident in
Damn.
picking the Sire account in the bot lane though.
Yeah, still running it back. I didn't mind the Nautilus last game. I think the Nautilus did good. It's interesting to see them opt for the Braum here. It's a not very good matchup into the Rakan. You get a little bit bullied out. It's super hard to lock him down. I mean, Poppy would help out with that. But I think it's a complete turnaround here from Element Z, what Element Z wants to do. Rather than adapting their comp just a little bit, they're going for something completely different. Ornn is also going to struggle a little bit into the Braum. I like that aspect of the counter pick. But considering what they were trying to do before, Element Z have swung back to the complete other side of the spectrum.
Yes, Poppy does still have that early game element, but we
Mm-hmm.
see Aphelios and Braum a lot more geared to a late game team fight. Braum can obviously, as you say, block the Call of the Forge God and also can block all those nasty Sire lit feathers
Oh,
that,
true, actually, true.
yeah, those
I didn't
feathers that
consider
deal
that.
a lot of extra damage, and also with the pullback, it's a lot. And we see the Syndra ban. Don't want Engine Ninja on that champion again.
Well, they're gonna drop one of the bans against Edgy Ninja. They're gonna ban the Oriana or the what else was it that they banned last time?
They also banned Nico last time, so
You can either ban the
I guess
Oriana
it's
or the
Nico.
Neek. They've left open Oriana on you know, what you said is one of Edgy Ninja's main champions left over. Another bull champion as well, if they want to pick it.
Another ball champion. Yes, I agree. And then Lissandra, again, very good ban here from Pack in the Mattress.
I respect both these bands because they're sort of like both those picks in some ways are like insurance picks, right? I know Affiliate, sorry, not Affiliates. Aurelion Soul is a little bit harder to pilot, but will still get guaranteed value in late game with that Meteor Crash as long as you're picking up at least a decent amount of that CS of that Stardust. Lissandra as well, seen as a very simple mid laner, and we saw mid lane get pretty hard punished by Edgy Ninja in that previous game. We'll have a little bit less immediate power without that Syndra. As Maokai is the lock in here for Element Z, which means this Poppy or this Maokai are heading top.
That is a bit of a surprise for me. I don't see Maokai being a very good top laner anymore. I don't think. I think,
I
but
think he's still
Poppy into
perfectly playable.
on makes.
I just want to point out about the Maokai. He's not that great of top. He's not going to punish the Ornn, but I think he'll still have a perfectly fine time into the Ornn. Right? I've been watching a couple of VRLs here and there. It has been picked. I think I prefer to see the Maokai over the Poppy to, in a certain way. But something I do want to point out is if it's not the AP variation of the Maokai, right, where you're popping down those saplings all the time, it's a completely different look. As Kindred is the pickup here for Paconometris. Interesting pick into a Poppy.
Yes, indeed. Kindred, it's interesting because there isn't like very significant burst from Element Z side. Obviously, there is a lot of engage, but what use is your Kindred ultimate when they are already on top of you?
I don't like
So
this Silas. I think this is a really, really wacky draft. Not wacky, but not a great draft here from Econometrus. I'm seeing 3 champions with dashes and 1 that doesn't like being forced to blow her ult early in the fight. I'm seeing 2 champions with stuff that's blocked by Ornn. I'm seeing Silas into Braum, Maokai, Poppy. I'm seeing Kindred into Poppy. I'm thinking Element Z. I feel like Econometrus is just played into Element. Excuse me.
So it might be a Darius mid lane here.
If this is a Darius mid as a
It
counter
can't be
into
Darius
the
mid lane. It might be.
Silas,
It will be Darius top lane and a Poppy in the mid lane.
it's what are you saying? That's
I think it's fine. It's there is like a lot less damage on Element Z side, but I think
yeah,
because what you've said just now, they don't want
still
to give a
applies.
good ultimate to Silas, and putting
Well, I mean
Darius top lane
Silas
obviously very good into Ornn.
does have 3 good ultimates already on the enemy team. I know Maokai is one you look towards immediately. It's one I look towards immediately.
Yeah, I think the other ones are not very good.
I think
Except
Braum has a fairly. I think Aphelios. So hold on, I need to look this up. I know his abilities have decent AP scaling, but if you look at maybe it's just hold on. I just need to talk quickly. Talk about something else for a second.
yeah. But yeah, I know chat is saying ELZ is cooking. They are cooking indeed, and I really like their draft.
Okay, I've got a question for you. I want you to guess the AP ratio on Aphelios Assault.
Probably like 70, 80.
100%.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's pretty
That's
like
not-
I thought about this. I was thinking about this. I know people have mean about it. I think Silas being able to steal away Aphelios Assault and Maokai provides so much. I mean, you're not going to get much out of the Calibrum or like the Gravitum shot. You're not getting much out of the secondary effect, but that primary ult still scales with 100% AP and it is still a massive AoE, right? I think Silas, despite being I think it's a really interesting draft. I still heavily favor Element Z. I think the only issue is, are they going to be able to deal enough damage? It's basically all down on Aphelios and this Maokai ults for this AP variation, and even then, you're not dealing much damage in a straight 5 versus 5. Darius, I think, is going to have a difficult time versus Kindred, versus Rakan, versus Xayah as well, assuming the feathers aren't all blocked by Braum. I think Element Z has a much better chance in this game than they did last time. Even if this Darius pick, I think, is really janky.
I feel like both teams have an interesting view of the game. I think Pack of the Motors is going for the scaling, but less about, and also still going for a team fight where Silas have to find a flank and also take a good ultimate. A flank with Maokai ult is obviously very good. Element Z, it's a bit of a mix of trying to cash people out with all the CC you have, and also I'm not too sure.
It's a
I
Darius
think
mid.
that
It's a
the
Darius mid. It's a
is it
Darius
Darius
mid.
Smith?
As a counter pick into the
Hmm.
Silas. Holy moly. I mean, I don't know the dark technology, right? I know Alawi's seen as a counter into the Silas, and I assume Darius could do similar things, right? But
I'm
well,
not
it's
convinced.
gonna be one hell of a game, is what it's gonna be, right? After we wait for spectator delay to tick down, we're going back to break for just a couple of minutes, but don't go anywhere. Econometra is trying to secure their spots in Planets. Element Z with this wacky draft, trying to fight their way in themselves. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
We're live? Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. I didn't realize we were live. Thought we had an extra minute on the spectator count, but that's totally fine. We are here, Beconometrus, looking to secure that 2-0 victory. LMNZ fighting for their life, but a completely different turnaround on the comp, as it's a Darius in the mid lane.
Yeah, I must say I've never seen that before, so I
Hold
don't
on,
know
I
how.
need to look this up. Lol, u.gg best Silas counters mid lane. Hold on. I'll see if Darius is on here. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a similar sort of idea to the Alawi counter in the fact that Silas just gets out-brawled at all points by the Darius, right? Like, you can't get into melee range of the Darius, or he'll just pull you back in, slow you up, and just bonk you with his 53 AD, and his ult isn't even that useful to steal for Silas, so we'll have to see if Ganko can pilot this one, but interesting champion pool here for Ganko, going for first the Akshan and now the Darius, maybe a bit of a top laner role swap towards that mid lane.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how it's gonna work. I think yeah, just thinking a bit like after a few items, you know, Edgy Ninja will get enough ability haste to be able to dodge all the outer circles of the Darius Q. So not exactly sure how that's gonna work, but we will just have to see. But yeah, both teams just were very happy just going into lane rather than doing any funny stuff invading.
Yeah, no more shenanigans. I guess when your composition is much like yeah, it makes sense composition with both teams. It's the point I'm trying to make. No more Nautiluses. Level 1's a little bit less viable, but both teams chilling in late. We still see the level 2 hit this time for Avantgardus. Walking up, full back on those feathers. That's a hell of a chunk onto Denki.
Yeah, very good trade by Avantgardus and Space Jam. Denki has to be pop his potion right now. Also using the Cull start as well. Doesn't have that much dueling power in the early game.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Losing out on that 80 extra bonus health feels very bad when you get traded on that hard. Meanwhile, though, we see Aseptic hovering on mid lane, trying to make something happen. This Darius Maokai has a lot more damage than Poppy Maokai as a mid jungle 2v2, so Aseptic still waiting in the wings. A little bit less pressure to keep clearing out your camps as this Maokai than something like that Viego from the previous game, but it does mean Kindred is going to be super accelerated on these jungle camps.
Yes, Tesla is just happy clearing for the time being. Edgy Ninja playing quite safe under his own turret.
Aseptic really hovering around this mid. I'm not too sure what he's doing, honestly. I feel like I guess it is just securing a little bit more control, but you've only taken 3 camps this entire game, man. Could be doing a lot more. Innery taking the worst end of a trade versus Funky Kid up in that top lane. Alright, 50-50 on the RNG. Sadly, Aseptic won at that coin flip. Probably going to end up winning the game off that. I joke, of course, but spending enough time around that bot lane, it did end up paying off, able to deny that Kindred the first mark. Meanwhile, in the top lane, yeah, we could see Funky Kid having just absolutely chunking out Innery.
Yeah, it's not a very good matchup because if you think about
oh no, look
has
who's
got a
it.
flash.
But the thing is, you knew Kindred was on the top side, right? Like Aseptic has spent 5 minutes on that bot side of the map. You can't be walking up like that, flashing out. I mean, I guess it's a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. A wave was frozen in front of the turret, but once again, first blood onto Tesla in this top side, flash for flash. But Kindred already scaling into this game.
Yeah, very happy to pick up the first kill to accelerate the own scaling. It's not too bad for Inari. The wave is not good, but luckily still have a teleport available to be able to fix that.
But look at that Noon Quiver on the first base. That feels so good for Kindred, getting that extra attack speed, the attack damage, and the 30 on hit. I think maybe it's 20 on hit damage to monsters and minions as well. Will further increase your speed versus this Maokai.
Yeah, we have to see if this mid lane picking off. Edgy Ninja doing a little bit of a fight for Gianco. Got 5 stacked, but still looks like 1 out on the trade in the end.
Yeah, just about. But look at the CS lead. It's 28 plays 38 here. Gianco also significantly more lethal in this lane, I think, right? Like if Edgy Ninja can't extend that trade, but Tesla here looking to try and help out. Dash forwards, chains connect. Can't afford to go too far. The pull just short, and Gianco has to blow both summoners to make their way out.
Yeah, just outside the range of apprehend.
Oh no! Oh no! that's disastrous, man. Inieri just overconfident on that dive. Funky Kid didn't even have to teleport back to lane after that previous play. Just stayed in lane on that sliver of health and got that kill. That's a tilt tower dive if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, he tried, but just wasn't able to hit a smack on the wall. Yeah, very unfortunate there for Inari. Now on having, well, just going to build his Sunfire soon. That will be very tough for Poppy, as Poppy isn't the greatest of the wave clearing champions.
Yeah, who the hell deals with this Ornn? Because this Maokai, I was hoping to see a Septic opt for the airy demonic embrace, poke build on Maokai has been nerfed a little bit, but still would provide the AP damage that the comp needs, because if the Ornn does what he did last game, right, just stacks up these armor items, not even bothering to go for the face of steel caps, doesn't feel like they need it. I don't know who even tickles him.
Yeah, that will be a good game for Funky, it looks like. Inari looking at that, so much less health than a Funky Kid, because only having that sheen doesn't provide the actual stats, only it provides a on hit effect.
Yeah, essentially with no stats except when dealing damage. That's not what you want to be doing into Dawn. Meanwhile, we do see the dragon picked up here on the bot side of the map. Has been taken by a Septic Ganko. Same as last game, so we're not necessarily going to say going a little bit better for them now. I mean, they're 2 kills down already. Gold lead's already 1.5k in favor of Econometris. And Tesla going to steal away this top side camp, going to be able to get this Krugs. And yeah, it looks like Aseptic is just surrendering these Raptors away, surrendering away the red buff.
Yeah, it's a very similar game
It's very
plan.
weird.
Edge
Like, when
Ninja-
you're against Kindred, though, you can't afford to do this. You can't afford to be giving away these marks for nothing. And, like what do they do? How do they make their way onto this Silas? They just walk away. Gank. I want it tracked how long Aseptic has spent in that bot side river, because frankly, it's a criminal amount of time. Took away the Raptors, didn't get much. I'm sorry, I don't want to flame a player too much, but this is... Like you need to be passing better than this against the Kindred with the Maokai. You can make so much happen on these ganks, but hasn't managed to find anything at all.
Oh, that will be a solo bolo for for Inare.
Yeah, well, okay. We're gonna. You know what? I think we're just paying back Inare for that previous top lane dive. Makes an unfortunate play there, as George and Denki forced to flash away on the play.
Yeah, one of the top laners must know is your Sunfire deals damage to your opponent, so you will take a tower aggro no matter what even if you try not to damage the opposing laner, and that's how Funky Kid metas his mind. But never mind, we'll be able to finish his Sunfire cape, so we'll still be really strong in this lane. Oh no, Edgy Ninja getting caught out here.
Nope, I'm not sure he is. Has to mark up themselves. Never mind, is caught up under their turret. I underestimated the Darius burst, as you often do. I don't play top lane. But yeah, nicely done on that ult from Aseptic. I thought Edgy Ninja, once again, holding their summoner spell perhaps a little bit too long. Could have flashed their way out of that one, chose not to, chose to give up the kill instead. And so, 2 for 2, back on the board. Gotta feel good for Elemency.
Yeah, they do need something on the board. They are still behind 1.5k on the
My
gold.
gosh, look at that jungle CS lead. At 9 minutes in the game, it's like a 25 CS lead in the jungle. 1k gold lead with only a 1 kill in your back pocket. They're even on kills. It's just that Tesla has been powering through their camps. They've got their whole jungle to claim when they respawn as well. It just feels like this Kindred is so far accelerated in this matchup.
Yeah, we'll see what Tesla does in the later game to see, in the later stage of the game to show what a Fed Kindred can do.
I mean, they got their mythic first I guess we count this over the Sunfire.
That's painful. That's very painful to see the Kraken Slayer that early completed by Tesla at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, 10 minutes really gives you such dueling potential. So you see here Gyanko walking down, trying to find something on the spot side of the map. Won't be able to though. Goes back towards the mid lane. There's a fight here in the bot lane though. Ult connects onto none, but Georgie does dissuade the engage without that quickness being used. There's not enough lockdown CC. I would like to see a dive come through here, potentially, if Econometris are feeling up to it, but I guess just gonna summon up that Herald they claimed on the top side of the map instead.
Yeah, we'll be breaking down his turret. Well, only 2 plates actually taken there. Oh, the ult comes
There's
down.
the Moonlight Vigil. Won't be able to find much at all. Georgie, once again, fearless with that shield. We see Gyanko trying to gank here, but won't be able to find anything at all. And Aseptic just a little bit too late on the play to make it happen.
Yep, top laners stepping each other again. Nothing too much to see.
Yeah,
In the bot lane,
they just made their way out. There's nothing more to say there, right? They're looking for the play, but Element Z not. They unwilling to commit to that Nature's Grasp to try and stop those resets, try and make something happen, right? And that is fine. They're not playing the same sort of aggressive comp they were before, but yeah, still down 1.5k. It's going to massively accelerated Kindred. Only going to be getting more farm over Aseptic as their clear speed increases.
35 seconds towards the second dragon of the game. I would expect Pack of the Mattress not to contest in this one as well, unless they want to. Which will
True,
be
if they don't want to contest, I don't think they will. I'm gonna be honest.
I think the only issue is you're still dealing with an early game Darius with a lot of extra statistics, well, compared to the usual champion. So it's quite a difficult fight, I guess, early, especially the Nature's Crafts is still in store.
Especially when Edgy Ninja gets
Aseptic.
picked like that. Chunked out to third. Health, ult splash over. There's the Lamb's Respite. There's the knockup. Charm comes through from the Space Jam Tesla. DPSing down, but 1 kill already gone through. Nice dodge away on that Glacial Fissure. Tesla tearing through the front line. Flash forwards, ripping them in half. Gyanko trying to make their way in, but more have fallen. But that's a fully stacked Darius. Tesla forced to flash away. Funky Kid sent back to the Nexus. In the end, it's a 3-for-2 in favor of Element Z, and they're going to be able to pick up this Drake as well.
Yeah, very well played by Element Z. Managing to catch out Edge Ninja there is so big. Because Pack of the Mattress could have just said, oh, we're just not touching the dragon at all until we get more items. But they chose to have a check and punish rightfully by Gyanko and the rest of Element Z.
Yeah, nice punish, nice punish. Nice utilization of this early game power of the Darius. 2-0 and 2. Edgy Ninja not able to have the same level of performance as Kit. I do think this Darius counts pick does actually still have a lot of merit in this draft. I don't think it's just going to be like a thing where you get ahead early, but 1000 gold lead on Darius against their opposing number in lane, especially when that opposing number is not like a tank, does feel pretty bad if you are on Econometric side. Still, they have this gold lead from the jungle, from the top lane as well. But now Funky Kid doesn't have the teleport, and Inari does. But Dragon starts up again.
Yes, the Dragon getting started up again, but I don't think Pack of the Mattress will have the resources to contest this.
Green-white, such a strong combination from Feliz as well. There comes the Nature's Grasp, connects onto none though. Counter Nature's Grasp from Edgy Ninja, finds one. Georgie surging forwards, Moonlight Vigil goes wide. Avangadrus choked down to half health. Aphelios so powerful in these situations, gonna swap over to their blue gun. Look how low Avangadrus is just from that Aphelios poke. Tesla gonna try and kite their way back. Doesn't have that Lamb's Respite, dodging away on that Winter's Bite. Trying to make their way out, but you can't dodge the point and click. The roots come through, and Denki comes through on the kill. Snipe, shield, not enough to save him. Double kill to the AD carry for Element Z.
Yeah, we talk about Denki a lot. This game looks like he's able to get the resources he needs and able to carry his team on his back. And it looks like Pack of the Mattress making this wrong decision again. It's like last time you weren't able to contest a dragon. What makes you think you can contest it this time?
Yep. Just really overambitious. Yeah, I mean, you said they didn't have the resources. They didn't have the teleport from Funky Kid. They didn't have the Lamb's Respite. I'm not sure if they had the Featherstorm up as well. Without those, the fight is so much harder. They don't have the same compositional advantage in these 5 versus 5s as well. And we see Denki there outranging with that poke against Avangadrus. It became so difficult to play the fight. I do think they need Funky Kid, maybe with another item under their belt as well, in order to be able to contest these players, or they're just going to get shred through.
Yeah, honestly, what Pack of Mattress need to do is just to wait a bit. Like, there's no real there's no real way to fight these fights with a Darius with Ghost running around. If you wait until Sylas can get 2 or 3 items, you have a lot better chance because Sylas is just a much better scaling champion compared to Darius, and also your Kindred is also will be scaling a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kindred, as the range increases in this game, is going to become so crucial in these plays. Meanwhile, Edgy Ninja is getting chunked down, taken out, dunked over, burnt down, bled to pieces on the floor as Ganko finds a solo kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, Edgy Ninja losing a bit of his cool from his previous game. Maybe a bit tilted from dying in the last 2 fights. But will have to recompose himself as he should be able to complete his Rod of Ages soon, and will be able to slowly but gradually, slowly but surely, looking at the bot type though.
Well, yeah, looking at the bot dive here, Charm comes out, Cleanse comes through, the damage isn't that high yet. Have the Lamb's Respite, not going to get that last auto down, invulnerable, so many low, it's the 1-for-1 in the end, the shutdown goes over to Tesla.
Yeah, not the worst result for LMNZ. Getting dive, obviously, you lose out on the assist code, and also the turret's gone, but if you get one,
you win out on the opposite side of the map as well, right? You get the top lane turret, you get the Herald down, you get charged onto the second one. Funky Kid wisely walking away on that top lane play, but yeah, certainly I think LMNZ can be happy with that one.
Yeah, they should be happy with that one. Gold is just even now. 27.8k to 27.8k. Tesla and Space Jam might be in a bit of trouble here, might get caught up by George Abe and the rest of the team walking down the river.
Everyone is collapsing. Rakan just looking for the recall. I think... Oh, they spot out Rakan, but they don't... I guess LMNZ just weren't able to make the collapse happen in time. Nice heads-up play there from Tesla and the Space Jam to make their way out. Get some damage on that tier 2 as well. Free up the Funky Kid to whack away at this top tier 1. Across the map, the towers are fairly even at this point in the game. I do want to point out, Kindred is still getting marks on those Raptors, which means if you can have a look production, if you can just click on Kindred's portrait, look at the, I want to see how many stacks Kindred has, if you can just click on her portrait on the right. Thank you. Only has 3 stacks, not got those 4 stacks for that crucial range increase. So important on Kindred to be able to get that. Still looking for that final important mark. Once they do get that, I think it gets a lot easier to play out these fights, as you mentioned, for Pack and the Mentors. But until they do, and if they can be denied by LMNZ, then Tesla's going to keep struggling, maybe even up to this soul point fight.
Yeah, those masks are very good. And now looking at bot lane, trying to make something happen there.
It's a 3 versus 3 though. I'm not sure they win this one. Knockup connects. Georgie getting chunked out, feathers fly. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, trade from Gyanko, and with the roots coming through, with the teleport coming through immediately from Inare, there's no chance for re-engage.
Yeah, the teleport was crucially cancelled by the Gyanko's apprehend there, but Gyanko might be not in trouble at all. Gyanko 3-0-3, too strong to be touched.
Yeah, Edgy Ninja, just not respecting on the teleport. Funky Kid not having the wave state to teleport down either. We'll be able to pick up this turret. It'll be 1-for-1 on the turrets, but yeah, massive cancel there from Gyanko onto Edgy Ninja means that the fight just isn't there for Econometrus. And now they're down a little bit of gold. I think statistically, comp-wise, they're still behind at this point in the game, but that's a Cloud Soul point coming up, if they can claim it, of course. LMNZ, they're not going to have green-white properly. They'll have green-purple, though, which is almost as good, in my opinion, for this fight. Denki should be able to put in a whole hell of a lot of work. Not to speak anything of Gyanko, Flash, and Ghost both available.
Yeah, looks like Econometrus is not really looking to contest, just to clear out the wave in the mid lane. Edgy Ninja still on the sidelines, looking to see if there's any flank angle. Yeah, you see a TB coming in. Funky Kid is going to top lane, just gonna push that wave in, trying.
Just surrendering this Dragon Soul point to be able to claim up top lane turret. I do think Cloud Soul is maybe the weakest soul. Actually, not just claim up the top lane turret. They've started up the Baron, and there's no vision here for LMNZ. If they're able to claim this, it's so free for them. I think it's a perfectly fine trade.
Pings come in from LMNZ,
but no one's there to contest. There's no one in range. And the Baron just goes straight over to Econometrus.
Well, that's
Wow.
pretty great.
Heads up
That's
play,
pretty
heads up
great.
play.
Or poor timing by Inure, but we're able to eject Funky Kid out of the fight.
Yeah, not able to do much else though, apart from that, as Tesla running for the hills shouldn't be collapsed upon. And yeah, they pull off the greatest heist they ever seen. Baron for Dragon trade. If it's Soul, I think it's a little bit more questionable, but only Soul point. You're going to be in a much more advantageous state to fight the next Dragon, which is when you do need to find your victory. You do need to stand your ground.
Yeah, as you say, Parametrus had to play by them, knowing that they can't really contest with the amount of damage they have now. You see, Silas only on one item, and the rest of, you know, like we talked about, like how we think, how we were scared of Element Z not having enough damage, but actually, I do think at the current point, Pachydermatous does not have enough damage to go through all those bruises and tanks.
I think once you get that Essence Reaver online, not Essence Reaver, Navori quickly it's online for Xayah, she's able to keep that permanent uptime on her W. That's a really important breakpoint to look for the next Dragon. Will be coming up, I think, almost certainly. But Edgy Ninja, once again, opting for that Zhonya's as well, going to get a little bit more survivable. I think the 2-item point is maybe, if you have to be fighting anywhere for the Pachydermatous side, I think 2 items or maybe even 3 items on the top lane is a really, really solid point to fight, especially because no one on Element Z has taken Armor Shred yet. There's no Black Cleaver on the Darius going for the Wing Moon play, which means they're going for Dead Man's Plate up next. It means that Funky Kid is going to be a hell of a block in these fights, but all upgrades are coming through as well. Right, level 14, highest in the game, tied obviously with their opposing number.
Yeah, I agree.
Stop.
So,
but yeah, I still think. Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I still think there's plenty of, like, despite them being behind, despite being down the Soul point, they're down, but they are by no means out. Pachydermatous, if they can make this fight work, even if they do it before the Dragon as well, I think they're still perfectly many angles back into the game.
Especially with the Baron, just a lot of gold being put into Pachydermatous' team, and also not allowing Element Z to do anything on the map because they have to deal with this Baron up minion waves.
Yeah, really pinning them in place. Nice stun if I say so myself. And obviously, ranged wave clear when you don't have a mid laner is a little bit lacking from Element Z, right? I know I joke, they have Darius, right? But their only ranged wave clear is the Freljord, so without that blue gun, which they're trying to rotate for this Drake, I think, it's going to be somewhat lacking. But Tesla, though, caught out here, Ganko, forcing out jump. There's a massive Moonlight Vigil onto 3. Ram's Respite still available. DPS going down, so many low health bars. Teleports are finally coming in. Ganko gets the first kill. AD carry is dead. Avantgarde taken down. Funky Kid running for the hills. Dragon not up for 1 minute and 20 seconds, but that's a lot of ultimates, all ultimates in fact, on the side of Pachydermatous that they won't have up for that next Drake.
Yes, or a lot of spells being used in that fight, but ultimately it's only Avantgarde who fell down, so it wouldn't make too much of a difference in the turret situation, but it means that they won't have the priority for the Dragon.
Won't have priority, won't have some of those defensive tools instead. It looks like Elements, though, is using their priority that they've gained to just kill that mid lane turret. I'm not too sure about that one. I'd rather see maybe a faster reset so they could be out on the map pushing that wave before Avantgarde had made their way back and then have priority for the Drake. And now they're going to be a little bit slow. They're not going to have first access onto this Dragon.
Yes,
assuming of course Pachydermatous want to fight for it. That is.
It's not necessary they want to fight for this because, you know, out of all the souls, the Cloud Soul is the least looked upon one. That's the best way I could put it. Yes, obviously it's not great to give your opponent a Cloud Soul, especially for Element Z's team, but not the end of the world. But they decided. Oh,
that's an interesting decision. Maokai delivery right to Avantgarde. No Featherstorm means no hope. Massive misplay there from the Space Jam. Nice follow up there on the Septic. And with the AD carry dead, they might have no choice but to give up this soul.
Yeah, don't really see they have any option now with Avantgarde out of the fight. Maybe Tesla will try for a steal.
Maybe gonna go over the wall. They don't have vision. 1.5k. Oh no. Knocked back over. Taken back down. Yanko is on the prowl. Flash over. Looking for more. Double dunk comes through.
Yeah, meanwhile, Funky Kid making his way
Oh,
back to
no.
base. Edgy Ninja being chased down.
Still looking for more. Dribbling down on to the mid lane. Edgy Ninja bleeding down. Has the stopwatch. Won't save them. But it will let them get the kill in return. And the shutdown also goes over onto Denki in the mid lane. It's going from bad to worse for Econometrus.
Yeah. Element Z will be able to open up.
They still have the gold lead, by the way, which I think is very funny. Despite everything that's happened, Econometrus still do have the gold lead, but obviously less so effectively. That soul will be taken away very shortly. But yeah, Element Z just really in their element in this game.
Behind in the element, Space Jam popping Shurelius, looking for a bit of chase but not able to find it. Baron spawning in just a second.
Everyone here just going to take a reset. Game state now heavily in favor of Element Z. I think I like their team fight comp a little bit as well. Darius just able to run Madman through these fights with no Funky Kid to play bodyguard, right? The Space Jam can't stop him, Edgy Ninja can't stop him, Tesla can't stop him, and if your feathers are getting unblockable, wait, no, that's unbreakable even. They're getting blocked very much by Georgie, then you're not going to be able to stop this Darius from just rampaging through you in these uncoordinated fights.
Yes, Econometrus did make a few mistakes getting caught out. Did deliver Maokai to Avantgardas in the last fight. But looking at this Baron fight, this is very important. That determines which team is actually in the driving seat. Even though with poor showing, as you say, the gold lead's still even.
Gold lead is... Well, yeah, the gold lead is non-existent. The gold lead is an even 0 for both teams. So I guess that makes sense as well. I don't think Tesla and Space Jam really want to start up this Drake, but I also... I thought I saw a teleport in there on top. Maybe I was just... I think I just saw the ward go down, but... Clearing out vision around this dragon. But there's 2 members here. There's teleport available for Edgy Ninja, but look at this flank. The Space Jam needs to jump out early. Dashing away, the flash is committed. Tesla caught out, still has that Lamb's respite, but it will not save them for long. Trying to dive out, but once again, it's the Kindred getting dove on without their front line. Burst apart, double kill for Element Z. And without the Sejuani, it just... Oh no, that's depressing, dude. Funky Kid's gonna end up getting chunked out as well. Not quite fooling. You can see this one is still incredibly tanky. But it doesn't even matter because he's never there in fights. He's never there to play bodyguard for Tesla, and they end up costing them heavily. Nexus turrets are now the target, booted away. Edgy Ninja with the Glacial Fissure, not going to be able to do too much at all. Yanko almost falls, but the stun is there from the concussive blows. Re-engage here from the Space Jam, but the Nexus is ticking down too low. Denki finds the Nexus, and Econometrus are falling down for game 3. Elements, congratulations.
Congratulations, Element Z4. Well, 1-1 now in the series. They are all even. So even Stevens, what do you think that PCN needs to fix in this game? You must have something to say about it.
Well, I've just got 2 pieces of advice for you, Econometrus, heading into this next game. 1, don't blind Silas in the mid lane. And 2, you need, if you're picking these tank top laners, they need to be with the team. They need, like Ornn was super unkillable that game, but he never was there to support his team. He was always on the side, always a little too late to be just like a little bit more together. Fight these 5 vs 5s. You've proven that you can beat Element Z once. You can do it again. Equally though, Element Z, I like a lot more what I saw out of you this game. You've proven that you can be Econometrus once. So I could totally go over to you in this one. But we're going to have to wait to see that draft for just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's always a game 3 series when I'm on the casting team. Econometrus, Element Z, fight Invicta. We'll catch you here for the final game in just a couple of minutes.
So hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, oh, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the one.
Hello, everyone, and we are back for Game 3. Element Z up against Peconometrus, and this time, Element Z I believe Element Z have chosen blue side for this game. If the lobby's correct, if the lobby's not correct, I'm seeing two different things. Never mind, they're just swapping. It's gonna be a run back on the blue side for Peconometrus, who've chosen that blue. And last game, the Darius mid pick. I doubt I doubt that Yanko is gonna get that one again. Or at least not into the Silas.
Yeah, I think it's more about a pocket counter pick really.
Mhm.
You can't really play mid Darius into say mages, but the bigger
Look,
picture is
I'm
that
gonna interrupt you. Before last game, would you have said you could play mid Darius at all?
no.
No, but I do agree with you. I do agree with you. It is a lot harder to play into the mages, which are more typical of Tesla, not Tesla, the mid lane pool for edgy ninja.
Yeah, I think it just kind of broken when Syndra and all the other mages that usually plays kind of got taken away by the bans.
Mhm.
But thinking he will be playing against a mage, so he's like, oh, Silas will be good. But turns out not to be the case with the Darius pocket pick. But honestly, I don't think Pachydermatous was doing too bad. I think they just had some execution errors, not understanding the comp strings. It should be fixed if they go back to more familiar territory for them.
Well, we'll have to see if they do in this draft. I wonder if we'll see the run back on the band from Peconometrus. They banned the same thing 2 games in a row. I think it's totally fine to go for it this third one as well. First ban, though, is going to be Poppy this time. I'd like this as well.
Yes, Poppy obviously counts a lot of dash champions, which last game, Kindred, even Ornn or Silas, they all have dashes. So
Or
especially
Rakan as well. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Rakan may be the most crucial one actually, stopping that engage using the grand entrance, and the Pantheon getting banned. Again, nothing new from the series.
Yeah, nothing new from this series. I think Peconometrus, when they're not against this Poppy, have made great use of this lovers duo bot lane, right? So they really look towards. So banning out the Kai'Sa makes sense, I think. I mean, Kai'Sa Xayah is like seen as like the standard match. I think Kai'Sa is stronger in that matchup still. We do see though the continued ban pivot here to Sejuani. I really like Tesla on the tank junglers in the previous game. Kindred got a couple of kills early on, couldn't convert with it, was a little too aggressive, especially into Darius. So maybe looking to like the Maokai, which was really effective from Element Z last game, despite being so far down on farm.
Yes, I was surprised that Marka was able to have such a big impact, and even with the counter ultimate by Edge Ninja's Silas, wasn't that impactful rather
Mhm.
than Maokai's original ultimate, and now we see Maokai getting banned by Pachydermatous.
Yeah, we see the Maokai taken off the board. I mean, it caused a lot of trouble in the previous game, so I don't blame them for doing that. Final ban here will be the Zoe, the favorite of Tesla. We didn't get to see it this series. Not going to get to see it. Yeah, full stop. Which is a bit of a shame. But will the first pick Ornn for the third game in a row come out for Econometrus? Yes,
It will
it
be it.
will.
Nothing wrong with the first on pick, but it will be countered by the Braum immediately.
Damn, immediate Ornn Scion slammed down. Element Z have found their element. They know how they want to play out this draft. They found the formula for success, and it's a bunch of meaty boys.
Yes, Sion also does quite well in lane into the Ornn, so a very good pickup to scale equally at least, but still having that utility in the tank and the tankiness of a top laner.
Ooh.
Aphelios want to take that
Man.
away from Denki.
And this is why I love best of threes, because you see these adaptations come out, the granular changes. Realizing that Aphelios Braum was a problem in the bot lane, we deny the Aphelios pick. It's a bit better into the Braum pick as well. You're not going for the Lovers Duo this time. This is what I love to see. I love to see this adaptation. I love to see this tug of war between these two teams and their picks, what they prioritize, what they choose to ban out. And I'm so curious to see what's going to be the pairing with this Aphelios. I'd like to see an Enchanter strong into the Braum, going to help you DPS through the Scion. It's going to be the Soraka.
Yeah, the Soraka definitely has value, especially Scion has the channel of the Decimating Smash, so you can cancel that channel. We'll see if there's any other channels in the game, but Talia getting picked up by Element Z.
Oh, this is something we've seen banned out by Econometrics, I believe, in game 1. I'm not sure if it was banned out in game 2 as well. But finally might get picked up in, I assume, the mid lane. I've seen them a decent amount of Talia jungle as well from some other teams. But most likely going to be heading into that mid lane. Giving comfort over to the mid lane matchup here from LMZ it's very dangerous. It's interesting actually. It's just interesting because they really want to ensure that Edgy Ninja doesn't have a performance like in that first game.
Yeah, I agree. And now Orianna getting banned as well. Well, the hover should be the Orianna ban that Engine Ninja usually likes playing. Talia mid, it is a top of the street at the moment. Definitely does a lot very well in the mid lane, especially with the how fast it can roam towards side lane to make plays. It's it kind of tells what Element Z wants to do. Wants to go power on that bot lane again.
Yeah, power the spot lane. They had a really, really good game last time. I mean, you can see why. This is the Denki DM that you promised me at the start of the series. As you see the Orianna banned out, I'm not opting for the Viego, not opting for the Aurelion Sol this time. Instead, going for the Viego now that the mid pick has been shown by Element Z. So it's a nice adaptation. I think securing this comfortable matchup here in mid, if you can ban out another mid lane champion, you can, really knock Edgy Ninja down a notch. I mean, I don't think it'll be as free as the Darius into Sion matchup we saw before. Not Darius into Silas matchup we saw before, even. But keeping getting him off comfort. But the Syndra that he played and piloted so effectively in game 1 is still on the board.
Yeah, they're still on the board. It will be a little harder in a team fight, especially with the Braum Unbreakable Shield. But it will still be fine if Edgy Ninja chooses to pilot that. But it will be a matchup of Syndra trying to get advantage in the lane and Talia going around. And we see the Wukong getting banned, so we have double Bruiser bans in the jungle for Econometrics.
Yeah, double Bruiser bans coming through. Really wanted to deny that sort of snowbally skirmishy power that we saw in the first game coming out from Element Z. So, oh my god, they've done it. They've gone for the Cog Braum if this gets locked in. Oh lord. That is a scary, scary, scary bot lane combo, and especially scary into Aphelios Soraka, because I think Cogmore does very well into that lane.
Yes, Philios doesn't have the doesn't have the tools early on to bully out the Cotmore, allowing Cotmore to scale very happily into his items that he really desperately needs. It will be the Syndra pickup for Edge Ninja at the end. Still very effective in his squishy targets like Talia and Cotmore, but once again has to be seen how effective it will be in the game.
Has to be seen whether Aphelios or Syndra can even reach this Cogmore. I think there's a severe range issue here on Econometrics' draft. When you haven't picked an engaged support, you need something a little more engaging, and it might just come in the form of Lilia.
Yeah, Lilia can run around the team fights and put everyone to sleep, and that's what Lilia wants to do, and also very good because Talia can be annoying for a lot of dashing champions, but for Lilia, you have so much movement speed, you can run around the rock field to be able to apply your CC and your damage.
Yeah, you certainly can. I want to see what the final pick is to round out this comp. Jungler on R5 for Element Z. It's going to be the Trundle lock-in. I like this a lot. The one tanky member. You see, Econometrics here have gone for the one tanky member strat with its Ornn in the top lane. which means Trundle is going to become very, very tanky when he steals the stats, and nobody else on Piccolometris is going to be able to stand up long to this Kog'Maw Bioarcane Barrage. Stealing those resists, the percent health damage is going to chunk that much harder from the little puppy from the void. Looking at these two drafts holistically, I think I prefer Element Z. I think Kog'Maw is going to be able to do absolute numbers in this game. Of course, it depends on if Denki can show up, but from what we saw from last game, game 2, Denki has their keyboard plugged in, they've got their head in the right space, and I think they're in a perfect position to carry out this match.
Yeah, there definitely are. Element Z want to focus on this bot lane using the Trundle pillar in order to get a bit of early lead, or at least to apply a lot of pressure to Pack on the Metro's bot lane. Seems to be the game plan for Element Z before Pack of the Metros. It's a bit hard because you kind of have to. You have a lot of scaling lanes as Pack of the Metros you really like to play, but they again have to defend against the early aggression of Element Z.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can make that defense happen. But alas, we're gonna have to deal with spectator delay while we wait for it. Don't go anywhere. Final game of a best of 3. These drafts are great. The gameplay is great. You at home are great, and you don't want to miss this one. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Summoner's Rift in this deciding match. Element Z with the Kog'Maw Hypercarry and Peconometris with something a little bit more standard, but something that maybe gets out of range, something that needs to get something going on in the early game, I think. Or they're going to have a rough time.
Yeah, so they certainly have to find a way to deal with the Kog'Maw, where they should try to have some. Well, actually, the problem with PCN is the early game is not as good as Element Z. Element Z have Gianco being able to roam around, and also the Trundle being very strong in the early game as well. But looks like both teams are going to do a very standard 5-point start here. Just putting down some water in the river just to stop any invades from coming around.
Yeah, going into this early game, I think a lane we really need to keep an eye on is this Kog'Maw Brawl, because it's sort of this myth that goes around that Kog'Maw doesn't deal that much damage in the early game, and I think it's not correct. Like, he still autos as much as it already carries. He's still got a lot of damage in his autos when he has his W on. He doesn't have the same sort of disengage tools, right? He can't choose when to make the fight start as much as it already carries. But Braum with the Winter's Bite with the concussive blows can somewhat solve that issue. And if you can take these shorter trades with Cog, get that stun down nice and quick, and just chunk out Avantgardus and the Space Jam, then yeah, I don't see any reason why this lane can't be equally successful in beating back Soraka and Aphelios.
Yeah, you see those Winter's Bite coming out, just trying to put some poke down on the Space Jam. A Space Jam returning with the I don't know what's that called, the Soraka Q.
It's called the Starfall, I believe.
The Starfall.
Or maybe it's Starcool, one of the two. I think it might be Starfall. But yeah, I mean, Soraka obviously a hell of a lane bully, right? Mostly because every time she hits you, she not only deals damage, she also heals herself. Level 2 hit first for Avantgardus and the Space Jam, but they're still getting Starcool. There we go. But look at the autos coming down. Stun comes through. I told you this Cog deals damage, bro. Flash away. The heal is needed. And that's a chunked as hell Soraka and a summoner advantage to Element Z.
And Banky and George was only level 1 in that fight against Avantgarde and Space Jam on level 2. Like, they could just go in on Space Jam like that when the Winter's Bite connects.
Yeah, just a little bit of overconfidence there, stepping up, getting punished. Now, of course, Soraka will be able to sustain herself up with that Starcool. Thank you, production. Meanwhile, though, there's a bit of a scrap around this Scuttle Crab. Funky Kid and Aseptic brawling it out just a little bit. Funky Kid has very consistently got this priority at level 3 in the top lane. Roam down to help their jungler. And yeah, every single time it just somewhat pays dividends. You see Tesla here, opting to full clear.
Opting the full clear as Lilia usually does. It does make sense. Lilia does have a very fast clear speed and also scales quite well when you get those first 2 items.
Yeah, I mean, once being able to get that Lost Chapter as well just juices your clear speed so much. Yeah, it starts on the Raptors as well, as is often common with the Lilia. And we can see here why Sion is such a good matchup into the Ornn. The chunk is insane, forcing out the flash. Ghost to follow. Sion is charging you down, and there is no hope of escape. First blood to Inari, and the Lilia with the bowling ball not able to follow up.
Yeah, it turns out you don't need to use pick a Gwen or some other bruiser. You can place Sion into Ornn to have that bully effect. And now, well, Funky Kid will still be able to teleport back. Actually, we'll opt not to and save the teleport for later and just have Tesla clear out the wave here.
Yeah, Tesla can crash the wave. Maybe want to save that teleport. Reticence on this summoner spell usage is something we've seen from Peconometris time and time again. I don't think it's that bad in this scenario. I think the farm on a Lilia still feels pretty damn good, right? But yeah, Inari, and we can see that why this matchup is so Sion favored, right? Ornn obviously wants to use their Bellows Breath to immune the knockup from Sion, but the thing is, once that 0.75 or however long it is charge time for that Q has gone up from Inari, they can snap it instantly. There's no way to predict it like on the Ornn W. It's like a Fiora parry in a way. You can't. It's so difficult to parry that Sion knockup, which means that you can just take such easy trades into the Ornn every single wave.
Yeah, I agree. It is something to get used to if haven't played this matchup a long time. Best way to do is still to just try to walk out rather than try to use a Bell's Breath to stop the CC.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Funky Kid. Maybe gonna take a bit of a beating for the first time. I think this is the first time that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first blood that Econometrus has. Don't forget, like, conceded, right? Element Z picking it up for themselves, looking to pick up this first Drake, which they've gotten every single game. But George just caught out. First move on that mid lane there for Edgy Ninja means that Element Z couldn't contest.
Yeah, they are playing a different champion at this moment. Edge Ninja able to roam rather than having Gyanko going over to help, and that means that the dragon shouldn't be. Well, they had to pay. I don't know what I was saying, but
Well,
yes,
the dragon is much more easy to secure. Funnily enough, it's a bit of a result of expectations because it was Econometrus who were able to pick it up this time.
Yes, they did manage to pick up, and unlike the last game, like when they have a Darius mid lane on Gyanko, they were able to move over and pick up that dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. The Darius obviously not having that counter matchup, not having that same level of early presence as well with this Talia. Edge Ninja on something where they just Giga carried in that first game, if you remember. Maybe called out a nice fancy footwork to avoid getting stunned. Scatter the weak means Aseptic can't find the play. Edgy Ninja holds the flash, makes it out of the gank alive.
Yes, very basically have steel nerves there not to flash over there.
Oh no, here's the stun, here's the chunk exhaust. Heals are coming through from Avangardrus. Won't end up fooling, but really eating it in this lane.
Yeah, taking a huge chunk of his health. Looks like he has to base now. Gyanko on the side lanes. Oh, Gyanko going back to mid lane.
He can't afford to base. Look at the wave that's crashing. You know, if Aseptic was here, if Aseptic was just on the way for the dive, that's one dead Aphelios, one dead Soraka as well. Oh my god, the Scion chunk continues to just be massive. It surprises me every time. But yeah, Avangardrus won't end up falling in that play. George and Denki just going to take the reset. Get those Berserker boots. Crucial for dodging out on those star calls. Crucial for getting just those extra attacks in as well in those trades. Ensuring that the Winter Spite and the concussive blows will land. That's what I like to see.
Yep, indeed. And we see, actually, speaking of Aseptic, Aseptic hasn't been that active on the map as we would expect. He has pulled a gang in the mid lane, but we were kind of expecting him to go bot lane a lot more.
Hasn't really. I mean, is going to struggle in any 2v2 against this Lilia. Lilia does excel versus these tank junglers, which can farm out and kite them out, right? As long as Aseptic doesn't get the chomp or like a massive pillar and a choke point, Tesla should be able to just make their way out. But if they have the support teammates with CC as well, priority in their lanes, Aseptic will be able to pick up this Herald, will be able to win out on any sort of duel happening here. Bowling Ball goes wide. Level 6 hit for Tesla, only level 5 for Aseptic, but I don't think it will matter. Herald picked up no contest from Econometrus.
Yeah, Georgie able to walk up there to support his team when Avangard's Space Gem was kind of stuck in the lane. That means the Herald for Element Z and should be quite helpful as they want to open up this mid lane as soon as possible.
That time the stun does land from Genko, answered back though by one from Edgy Ninja. Both of these mid laners unwilling to give up the advantage, pressuring each other, trying to block their first strikes. That was a fully charging decimating smash, but with that Bambi Cinder, Funky Kid's going to be fine in this lane. I think the solo kill potential from Cyan is a little bit less.
And Tesla
Never
is
mind.
here, though.
That's a lot of damage coming through. Tesla is here, but Inari, yeah, never mind. The chunk the grass block is too much for Funky Kid to deal with. Tesla tries to come and support, but isn't able to find anything at all.
Yes, Funky Kid now in a bit stuck between a rock and hard place. Has to, never mind, Inari decides to recall, and while the Herald is put down in mid lane.
Oh, there comes the blooming, there comes the ult coming out. Drowsy Lullaby, one dead already. Ganko is ganked, and despite getting 2 plates, I think that play is more than fine for Econometrus.
Yes, that is very good for Pack and Omnitrix. Edge Ninja actually holding on to the Unleashed power as well. Once again, knowing that the ultimate is not needed and will be available when the dragon spawns in 35 seconds.
Yeah, Dragon Spawn in 35 seconds. I do want to see Elements contest Evan Gardrus. Kog'Maw not having that Bio Arcane. Not having the Bio Barrage. I think no, the ult's called Bio Barrage. I think W is called something else. Not having that range increase, not having that big spit to proc that stun. Evan Gardrus able to walk away for free.
Yes. Top lane again. We are seeing the same thing again. It seems like a cassette tape on replay.
It's just bullying, man. It's just bullying. He's not even like killing him. He's just like making him invisible. Cancels out the stun. Still takes so much damage. And Funky Kid has to be careful because that unstoppable onslaught. That's another one I always get confused. I always get it confused with Malphite's ult. Is it?
It's the unstoppable onslaught for Sion, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's with Sion as well. It's unstoppable force from Malphite. As the pillar comes down, finally, we see a gank on the bot lane. There's the ult, there's the rift, but the damage, the healing is too much. Georges going to die, the turret gonna help out as well. Avantgarde just flashing away, health bars blinking, but no one will fall. The flash will not secure it. Pack on the Metras find a kill in the bot lane.
That's a big play. So much healing from the Space Jam, especially with Soraka Wish. So much healing. Wasn't able to finish off Avantgarde. Yeah, helping a bit out on a Funky Kid as well when the ult is procced. When Soraka, the heal gets is global.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Ganko kind of split the fight in half in a way that he really didn't want to, right? Split off any sort of retreat from Element Z away from that turret, playing a little bit double agent in that one, and now it's a 3-kill-to-1 lead, 1.2k gold advantage. Dragon heading over to the second one, actually, to Peconometras. Infernal Soul on the cards. Nice stun, but Ganko is going to miss the seismic shove. Edgy Ninja looking for some more. Fancy footwork, dodging out from all of those skill shots, but the Space Jam, you can't dodge autos unless your name is Jax, but will not end up falling.
Very... What a sliver health bar. Oh, it's top lane. A bit of a 1v1 action here.
Forcing the flash for the Ghost. Still going to use that unstoppable onslaught. Just holding onto it in case they need to get away on the gank. But yeah, in Eri, forcing back Funky Kid, no teleport. Actually, not going to take the reset. Just going to maybe buy up a little bit more health for this lane. But yeah, Sion.
It's a kill angle for Ornn when Call of Fortune come back up.
You know what? I think Inari is saving their unstoppable onslaught for that Call of the Forge God, because when that comes out, they're not going to end up getting knocked up. They're not going to get that double bristle proc out. And Inari, I think, can take that kill if the Forge God goes down. Instead...
Yeah, but doesn't matter. It does matter. Aseptic here trying to see if Funky Kid was going to go aggressive, but he wouldn't.
Yep, just going to take that reset. Heading into this game state, 1,500 gold lead for Peconometras. I don't favor their comp still. I still think they're about even heading into this next dragon fight, simply because of how much what Kog'Maw can do. But we saw in the previous game how Peconometras couldn't, play that front-to-back comp effectively, kept on getting caught without their tanks. That's something Element Z really have to keep care of, because once this Kog'Maw goes down, the fight is lost.
Yes, I agree. But in this early game, this Kog'Maw wouldn't be able to deal as much damage as you would expect. Not having the first item is a big trouble for them. So he probably wants to get the first item before doing any meaningful skirmish with Peconometras.
I think maybe we'll have it on this next base. Certainly has enough time to get it before the Drake spawns up. Heartsteel has been completed here for Sion. It's going to be 3 stacks versus Ornn.
Yes, it will be if they keep gonna trade like that.
Meanwhile,
but yeah, not much to be. Oh, we see Acceptic here in the bot lane trying to be sneaky with the lane gang.
oh, they don't know he's there. Maybe they saw him on the mini wave, but maybe they suspect he's just gone for the reset. Space Jam slowed up, forced to flash away. Autos aren't going to be enough, and Tesla in the area. George with that Unbreakable. No Lilia Sleep on the Kog'Maw is crucial. Tesla stunned up, burst down. Soraka healing is going to be enough to save them for a little bit, but Denki will fall. Aseptic will fall. George waddles out with a sliver of health, and in a 2-for-1. Pacanometrus fighting the fight in the bot lane. Ganko gank not doing anything to remedy the situation.
Yeah, it's a surprising result. We thought Lilia wasn't able to get the sleep pro on Kog'Maw, but at the end, the damage was enough to take down the little... Is it a puppy? Is it a void puppy?
Void puppy. That's
A
what
void-
everyone calls him.
Yeah, take
In
down the
reality,
little puppy.
he's kind of like horrific. He dissolves his victims with acid before he actually eats them, and that's kind of horrifying. But he's a cute little puppy as well, you know. Bit of both worlds. But yeah, Void Puppy ended up falling in that fight a little too early. The Soraka healing, man, I maybe underestimated it. The Wish, the heal, obviously the Astral Grace as well, just keeping everyone alive on the team. Turret will end up falling as well. Denki has to be careful. Space Jam's in the area. Root is available, but won't continue forwards.
Yeah, a little bait there, trying to see if Georgie was not in the area, but Georgie was in the area and was able to just get out.
Heading into this dragon fight in 45 seconds, most important thing to note is mythic advantage. Tesla having that mythic, Edgy Ninja having that mythic for this dragon fight is so crucial. The power level is just so much in favor of Pacanometrus at this point. I think it's almost disastrous to take a fight here if you are Element Z. You're just statistically so far behind, but maybe they feel they have to. Maybe they feel they have to try and deny this Infernal Soul point.
Yeah, it will be not great if they try to contest this. Blocked by Georgie's Unbreakable Shield, so Denki will be able to walk away.
Yep. We'll be able to walk out, but just going to pepper down pokes, looking for the angles. All the cooldowns are available. Only thing missing, Exhaust from Braum, Flash from Aseptic, and a Teleport from Inari. Whereas Teleport flashes. A couple of summons missing, a couple of more actually missing on the side of Pacanometrus, but I still think they're in such a favorable position for this fight. Mythic's still not finished up. Mythic advanced on support as well. This is such a free fight for Pacanometrus. Unless, of course, they make a huge mistake, but they found one onto Ganko, ticking down the double burn. Will it be enough? The healing from Soraka won't keep Tesla alive. Ganko will survive, and I think I might have cast the curse into high heavens. Avangard just trying to kite back, trying to deal with this Scion, but not enough damage quite yet in the game. Means they lose their jungler and don't find anything for it.
Yeah, Pacanometrus try to do two things as once. Try to have Funky Kid solo the Herald while the rest of the team contest the Dragon, but didn't work out as they wanted, and now they will lose this Infernal Soul point, seems.
Yeah, I feel like, once again, the Funky Kid not being coordinated with the team, wants to be doing their own thing on the side lane. If Ornn is there, I think the fight is so much in their favor. Like, you can say, okay, maybe it's fine because you're getting a double charge Herald in the top lane. Yeah, that's still good, but they could have got the Herald afterwards. 5 members are being committed by Element Z towards this Drake. If they just sent down the Funky Kid as well, the fight could have gone completely differently. They could have got the Drake and got that Herald on the top side.
Yes, absolutely. But it turns out, well, for the best for Element Z, able to stop the Dragon stacking. Especially they do want to wait until Denki gets more and more items on his first one now only. In the mid lane here, we see Avangard just clearing out the mid wave with the objectives down. Looks like both teams are just happy to farm up.
Yeah, happy to just farm. I think this does favor Element Z, right? Slowing down this game is super, super crucial. Denki, once they get the second item with the Rage Blade, they are fully activated. They are online. Anything past that it's almost luxury. You're almost going to be hitting them hard enough already. It's the Kog'Maw. But the luxury still feels pretty good in the champ, right? Gonna still keep continuing scaling as the game goes on. And I don't think there's so killing potential in the top lane. I mean, I said that last time, but everyone's just too tanky up here. It's like 2 sacks of wet sacks hitting each other. But most importantly, I think Mythics have now been finished up by Element Z. That real power trough they were in doesn't exist quite as much. Now, of course, other item completions can be really important as well, right? I don't want to say like now they got their Mythics, they're set for the entire game, but it's such a power discrepancy. And kudos to them for being able to win out on that fight and catch out Tesla. Flash forwards, trying to find something onto Avantgarde doesn't make it happen.
Yeah, Funky Kids keep trying to trade on Inari in the top lane here, but ends up just losing more health and giving a lot of hostile stacks to the Sion, who likes stacking a lot of health. So Sion can become very much a monster later in the game.
Bro, we heard you liked help, so we gave you stacks in your stacks so you can stack while you stack. Inari already getting an extra 250 almost bonus health from that Heartsteel. Something you get more and more as the game goes on. Now, if they were against the Kog'Maw, I wouldn't like the build as much because, you know, Kog'Maw does such high percent damage to tanks. But yeah, Aphelios not going to be able to provide that much. Lilia will burn through his health bar quite quickly, which I guess is why he's opting for the Force of Nature second.
Yeah, and the Force of Nature second is a very wise buy, especially against both Lilia and Syndra, both having...
Oh no! Oh no! Inari messes up the charge. Gonna end up falling. Gonna get some Heartsteel stacks for their troubles, but it's a small pittance compared to their life. Unless, of course, they can kill Space Jam. No, gonna be able to run out. That grass proc was meaty as hell, but just wasn't enough.
That was unfortunately being an unstoppable charge into the pillar, but they might be able to get a tier 1 turret in the mid lane. Maybe no, because Tesla is
Maybe
around.
find the pick. Tesla flashing into the trolls more. Pulled back up. The sleep will not save you. Aseptic getting that kill for their team.
Yes, and you can see if Denki can be left alone, can do a lot of damage. You see Avantgarde with those blinking health bars only getting healed up now by the Space Jam.
Just about. No fights, nothing to fight over yet. Teams might still do it because they feel like it. Here comes the Talir Wall trying to pick off one of the members, and I think Syndra, Edgy Ninja, left but... Oh my god. What is it with the Element Z blinking health bars every single fight this game? Georges getting away with just a sliver of health, making it back to the Nexus.
Looking, they're starting Baron now with Sion tanking the Baron and the damage of Kog'Maw. They might be able to do it before Pack on the Moltres can respond.
Yeah, Kog'Maw with the Blade of the Ruin King, that's a double % health damage. I think there's no chance of response here from Econometric. Element Z finally coming into the element, especially with that pick onto Avantgarde in the mid lane. Nicely done, Gyanko. There's no hope for contest here, unless of course Tesla looks for the steal, but even that's a bit of a fake hope as well. Does take out Aseptic with the smite, will end up falling for it though. It's a 1-for-1, but Baron on 4 for the Element Z lineup.
Yes, Baron on 4 indeed. Oh! Wait, what?
No way! Tesla with the steal from the Liandries, I think it was. Oh my lord. Oh my god, that's illegal, man. That is illegal. I think I have no words. This game is a fiesta, but it's actually massive. 4 Econometrics there. Able to pick up I'm speechless. I'm speechless, man. Kudos to Tesla for finding that steal, but that's unforgivable, man.
Yeah, that's so game-changing though, actually. Oh, look at this fight though.
No steal this time for Econometrics. A massive sleep onto 2, flashing away, but Denki DM is just about fine, means that there's no further follow-up for Econometrics, who do, you know, feeling a lot better after getting that Baron. Now got like a 4,000 gold lead. But what am I? I'm still shell-shocked, man. All on passive, gonna be upgrading the item for Space Jam, and with this Baron buff that they very skillfully obtained, Pack on the Metro is going to be able to push down this tier 1 mid lane turret. Maybe even look for more.
Yeah, Pack on the Moltres might be looking to do a bit more of sieging. With Syndra is a very good idea, but they're looking at so many members of Element Z, they were just gonna take some jungle camps and back out.
You know what? Funky Kid's going to be super happy about having this Baron buff because they've been in the side lane the entire game. They just love chilling up here. Side lane, Ornn, strats. 2 items complete. I think got that tier. Yeah, did get that tier 2 while I was shell shocked from seeing that stolen Baron. Yeah, just managed to push on that on that side lane, and yeah, game state is completely different now. Of course, you aren't stacking up soul win conditions. Getting those Infernal Souls, Infernal Soul will be really, really strong for Element Z, but they've just brought themselves like an extra fight around this dragon here, Pachynometris. Maybe even able to take it to this next one. We'll have to wait and see, of course. I think it's going to be a bit of a lull period. Neither of these teams really needs to fight. Neither of these teams can really force a fight in that way. I mean, we might still see an insane fight, but yeah, Denki going to be close. I think maybe has picked up their Rage Blade off that last fight if we can see the items quickly. Yes, they have. That's one that's super powered. Cogmore. Second item complete in the mid lane as well, but second item's complete almost across the board. Of course, the Septic going to be a little bit behind on tank stats, but can steal those away from Funky Kid, so maybe a little bit less worried about that. But I think it's all going to come down to this next dragon fight.
Yes, it does. We also have to look at Edge Ninja. With so much CS occurred, he's able to get the 2 items and the Shadow Flame and the Luden's Echo. Well, actually, it's the Luden's something.
It's actually version. Not Luden's something. I think it's called Eye of Luden.
Okay.
It used to be called Luden's. Yeah, it's Eye of Luden. I'm 90% sure. I think it's one of the best mythic names in the game. It's Jak'Sho. Yeah, there we go.
The Eye of Luden. Wow.
While we're in this downtime,
Who is Luden?
Luden. I mean, that's for the League lore heads. I mean, I'm a bit of a League lore head. I don't know who Luden is. Do you know what's the upgraded Jak'Sho is called?
Oh, I remember reading that one, but I totally forgot about it.
Wait, I think it's something like Scourge of Icathia.
Something like that. Oh yes, Scourge of Icathia. Oh no. No.
That's Voidwalker. Damn it! No. It's the I knew it, the unspoken parasite. I'm sorry. I'm a fake play by play. I'm a fake play by play. Oh my god. I thought it was like the parasite. No. It's the unspoken parasite. Yeah.
The unspoken parasite. That's a pretty cool name.
That's a pretty cool name as well. You know, there's at the end of the game, if you're on like a legendary kill streak with Jak'Sho, it will slay you and say it will shut you down and say Jak'Sho has deemed you worthy of consuming your power, which I think is a cool little Easter egg.
Oh wow.
You know, because they're a parasite from the void, much like Kai'Sa's suit.
Interesting. Wow.
See,
I
this
remember.
This is what we talk about when the game state gets like this, because nobody's gonna do anything for the next like minute. So we should probably talk about. Sorry, make your point.
No, I'm just too. I think I remember seeing that Jak'Sho deemed you worthy, but now you reminded me.
Well, I've never seen it in any of my games, so you know, I don't know why. Anyway, both these teams should be starting to set up for this dragon spawning up in just 45 seconds. We see them jockeying for vision even around this Drake. Scuttle Crab's going to be gone by the time it respawns. I do think both of these teams want to fight for it. I think both these teams can win a fight as well around it now. Kog'Maw, so incredibly scary, though. Need to really keep an eye on that one.
Yes, and Pachynometris, even with a 6k gold lead, they need to find a way to get to this Kog'Maw.
I don't think a Septic can look for a reset here, by the way. I think this is really, really greedy. Going back, getting their Abyssal Mask picked up, which is kind of a based option, I think, when you got a Kog'Maw dealing so much magic damage on your team. But hold on. It looks like Element Z don't want to fight for this Drake. They want to give it up and secure them. They really want this Baron, man. I didn't get it last time. Desperate to have it now.
Yeah, it makes sense for Element Z to choose that. As the game goes longer, Kog'Maw gets stronger and stronger. So it's so good to be able to have Baron and just stop the enemy from pushing into your lane. But looks like Pachynometris wants to try something, but will be blocked off by the Taliyah wall.
Boop.
Falling ball.
Not going to mean too much more. But look at the drowsing to delay the resets. Actually, kind of smart there. I mean, I'm not sure they knew they only hit onto 2, but denying Kog'Maw that back means you're going to be able to claim this mid-tier 2 risk-free. I like that play.
Yes, they did. Assuming that they're not gonna fight for another few minutes, it seems that you don't really need to use your ultimate for quite a bit. So it
Yeah,
does
of
make
course.
sense to make this choice.
Of course. It's now somehow, even with that Baron in their back pockets, a 5,000 gold lead here. It's Econometrus. And this team has been so damn scrappy. This is sort of like, we've had some real entertaining games of League over the past couple of days. This one, it feels like it could go either way still. Econometrus as well, surprising us somewhat with their skill, with their playoffs ability. Maybe I should shut up because I'm probably casting them now. Equally though, Element Z, right after a rough, rocky start, managed to bounce back. Managed to bring us to almost parity in this game 3 of the series. Still is anyone's chance, unless of course someone for us. No, it still could go over to either team. I think they've both got avenues for victory as we see the Baron Siege onto this mid lane tier 2. Stun coming through, a Septic, not even that chunked.
Yes, not being able. Looks like they're able to take this tier 1 turret. The Arcane Barrage coming through and like a lot of low health bars on Econometrus, but never
My
mind.
God!
Just got down.
Oh, that's huge! Bowling Ball connects onto 2. You block the audit. Won't mean too much. Flashballs by Lilia. Move speed forwards. The DPS is not enough. Double kill to Tesla. A third taken down by Edgy Ninja. The only one left to defend is Iniari. And I think Econometrus are going to look for the end. They can stop the backs on this side. No, they can't. But they can stop the back at least for a little bit on the Scion. Maybe look for the inhibitor. Maybe look to destroy that Nexus. Depends on if they can keep this minion alive. Reset coming through. Cancelled by the Space Jam. That is massive.
It is massive indeed. That means they will at least get an inhibitor, and
Yeah.
maybe more.
They didn't have the AD carry. It's a bit hard to push that much. But getting that inhibitor for free, taking that fight out of nowhere. Edgy Ninja with that insane pick onto Aseptic. I said he was tanky, wasn't tanky enough clearly. And then obviously
Yes,
the sleep coming down.
Syndra actually, very interestingly, a lot of his Syndra's damage in the tanks comes from the W's, the Force of Will. So as Syndra goes into higher levels, like 15 or above, you start to put your levels in your W, then you deal a lot of damage to tanks because a lot of your
very
W
true,
is
actually.
true damage. Yeah.
Very true, and surely has their passive. Surely has their passive upgraded now. Gonna have that extra. Gonna have like the percentage extra AP, right? It's that W damage is gonna get amplified and amplified. I don't even think of Syndra as much of a tank killer as the game goes on, but maybe I should. 5 points in that W now. Gonna be slamming minions, slamming bulls on top of Iniari.
Absolutely. And looks like the game has just gone to 8k gold lead. We can see the Infernal Soul coming up at 1 minute 20. How can Element Z defend this?
Element Z really wanted to take that Baron to stall out the game. It seems to have backfired. The lead has only increased. Econometrus. And they're looking to secure it. If they get this Infernal Soul, I think it's going to be super hard to break them. The damage is just going to be insane from Syndra, from Lilia even getting 2 procs on each bowling ball that they land would be absolutely disgusting. But we're going to have to see if they can find the fight. 1 minute, slightly less left for this dragon to respawn. All items upgraded here, except for the Starlit Grace.
Element Z making their stand. Denki on 3 items with the Wit's End.
They need to get in here first. They don't have great tools to find their way into Spit, but if they can, Kog'Maw, Braum, Sion, Trundle, even Talia, these champions are so strong at standing their ground. Funky Kid, though, just as a reminder, on that top lane, pushing in that wave. But there's a pick here onto the Space Jam, forcing out the flash immediately. Sleep onto 2, but it's in the area. Ticking down, teleport finally through. Horn blown, blocked by George. Nice knock out there onto the Silence. Silence comes through. Kog'Maw not able to free hit in these fights. Moonlight Vigil onto 1, but that's all they need. The health bars are so low. The contest cannot come through. Funky Kid trapped between the corner. Edgy Ninja picks up the kill onto Iniari, and the soul will go over to Econometrus. The underdogs heading into the series. I heard some people say they were expecting a 2-0, but it looks like it's going to be a 1-2 in this game.
Yeah, it could very well be a 1 and 2. Baron spawning in 40 seconds with the Inferno Soul is so hard to venture out because you can get one shot at any given moment, space checking these deadly brushes.
Oh, it's a real tense one, but yeah, that Infernal Soul's got to feel so good in the back pocket of Econometrus. And we said that the Cogmore can deal so much damage at these late points in the game. Hasn't been able to hit in these fights. Just the poke coming out, the long range bowling balls coming out from Econometrus. Putting in so much work, I didn't expect it. The long range poke as well, that's not to discredit Edgy Ninja. Finding the shred on these tanks, not quite level 16 yet, but building towards that Rabadon's death cap. Doing absolutely massive work, shredding through the front line. And it feels like, despite the scaling, Denki not being able to hit in these fights crucially means that Econometrus are just able to out DPS Element Z.
Absolutely, especially. Never mind, have a look at this Baron getting shredded.
Oh, Ganko in the area. Aseptic not in range to go for the steal, but it's stolen again! Oh my lord! Ganko wanting some payback from the last time. Baron in back pocket of Element Z. Gonna be able to buy them a little bit more time as we see a second Baron steal in this game. Oh my god, it's a wild one.
Yeah, this Baron steal is very crucial for Element Z to stay in the game. That will just means that they are able to defend the base a lot more effective. If they had a Baron buff and they had the Inferno Soul for Pachymetrus, they'll be able to close out the game very, very soon.
I think they still might be able to. The Space Jam clearing out the vision in the top side of the jungle. Despite the Baron disadvantage, Econometrus still willing to push for this top lane tier 2. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a base race. Look at the mid lane. Element Z pushing onto this mid lane. This is an interesting base race. I'm not sure you win this one. The Feathers shreds through these turrets. Pokemon doesn't fight in the same extent. Top lane tower destroyed. Inhibitor will fall. It's just a base race across the map. Oh my god, what a way to end this game. Funky Kid gonna end up taking down the Inhibitor has fallen in the mid lane. The resets have been stopped. Tesla has been denied. No way. Yanko and Incinerary doing their best to stop any resets coming through. The only one left is the Syndra. Oh my god, they kill off Incinerary, but in the base. On the other side of the map, the minion with the Baron, it's not going to be enough to push it down, but the fight is lost on the top side. What was a Hail Mary play for Element Z? Backfires spectacularly. No resets available yet for Denki. They do manage to make it back, but they lose out so much in their base.
Wow, we didn't have the split.
Never mind, it's not over yet. Pick has been found to Aseptic, surging forwards. Teleport is there. Edgy Ninja with the stun, with the execute. It's all over. Element Z will fall. Econometrus will find the play, find the angle, and find their win in the best of 3.
Wow, congratulations to Pachymetrus in this BO3, beating beating Element Z in such a, I don't know how to say, such a great fashion.
Such a wild fashion, honestly. Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. The double base race into the collapse. It looked bad. It looked good. It tore at my goddamn heartstrings is what it did. But in the end, Group A continues to reign supreme. Element Z, unfortunately, knocked out despite some banger performances across the board. And I believe we're going to be heading into an interview with someone from Econometrus if they so wish to do so. But for now, we're going to be heading into a break while I rest my voice after that final call. Econometrus, congratulations on your victory. We'll be back here for the interview in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. We're very fortunate to have an interviewee join us from Econometrus. Hello, Avantgardus, the AD
Hello.
carry, the one and
Yeah.
only. How is
Yeah.
it? How is it? How are you?
I mean, yeah, what a game actually. The first, Fnatic pause got us a bit a bit flustered, but yeah, I mean, I believe we could have played better in the second game. However, I'm really proud of our performance as a team.
I think you certainly can be proud. I mean, obviously, you guys went in being the underdogs, right? Like everyone, I was hearing whispers of Element Z 2-0s, on the backside. But yeah, you guys put on a real great performance. I guess how does it feel coming into the game, being the underdogs, and then finding that win in match one?
To be honest, we did not believe we would win this, but
Oh,
yes, so things happened, and I mean, we played a very good early game. I mean, early game was the focus, I believe, in the first match. So we just got the early game and then snowballed to end the game. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's very, very impressive. I mean, specifically, everyone on the team played so well. I'm curious, who you guys in that first game, you guys played shockingly well around gank timings, right? You just denied any sort of potential pick from Viego or from Nautilus Roams. Who on your team is most responsible for shot calling?
Uh, well, that's the point. I mean, we have our jungler, mainly, I guess. I do not know his name on here. Oh yeah, Tesla. Tesla is, I believe, the main shot caller, but we all get our inputs. Also, Edgy Ninja, I believe. Yeah, mainly
Yeah.
them.
Well, I mean, they certainly did a good job of keeping you guys under wraps. In your next game, you guys are up against Invicta. How are you feeling about that matchup? I mean, you said you didn't expect to win this one. I guess that's an even greater foe. Has this one given you any confidence? Are you still
Uh,
hopeful heading into the next match?
I mean, there's a plus that we have played against Invicta.
Mhm.
So 2 games, lost both of them. However, yeah, I think we'll be a bit more ready, we'll have a bit more morale, and we'll try our best.
Well, I mean, you guys have certainly earned the right to have a little bit morale. Before we let you go, I just want to ask: is there anything you want to say to the fans, to the Econometrus supporters, those who didn't believe? Anything you want to say to chat?
Yeah, so I want to thank all the fans, and also I want just to clarify the pronunciation of our team. It
Oh
is
no,
Patsanometras.
Patronometrus. God,
Patsanometras. It's a C. Yeah, it's a C.
Patronometrus. Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm so
really
sorry.
grateful to have this opportunity
Patronometrus.
to clarify our team name.
Well, you guys better make me say it a whole load more when you make it to the finals. But unfortunately, that's all for us tonight. Thank you so very much, everyone who's watched the stream. It's been a real pleasure casting people, even if I said the name wrong of the bloody team every time. As always, I've been Casual Cutie,
And I'm Cookie.
and thank you so very much, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you back here for the next series. It's Bazaar up against TDE, and I, for one, cannot wait to watch.